as well. All right, DevOps. Come on, guys. DevOps guys, let me know in the chat who are guys are DevOps. Suman, Suraj, all right. Okay, so many DevOps. All right, awesome. I can see a lot of DevOps and backend engineers on the call. Interesting. So, creating auto scaling alert, resolving LLM agents, replacing dashboards with natural language observability, and building AI interfaces for internal infra monitoring. Example, guys, Netflix. I know there are other examples also. I'm just telling you the ones which will register with you, and you'll be like, oh my God, Netflix is using this. They uses AI for anomaly detection and dynamic infra routing. By the way, Netflix also uses AI for one more thing, if you guys don't know about. The recommendations that you guys see on Netflix, guys, that's AI generated. If you did not know, that's AI generated. Yes, Netflix uses AI for that as well. Product engineers. Come on, product folks. Are there any product folks in the call? Okay, we have a few. No, guys, I'll be only explaining it in English, no Hindi. Sorry. So what you guys are doing, you are embedding LLM copilots inside the apps in itself, designing multi-agent systems with contextual memory. And I think so a lot of you product guys, including, well, everyone I think so has heard about Shopify. There's no product person who's not heard about Shopify. These are engineers deploying a GPT-powered assistant to help merchants manage stores. Actually, I live with one of the product engineers as well. By the way, guys, I'm from Bangalore. I live with a friend of mine who actually has done this and was one of the first people who had gotten API keys from OpenAI, where again, OpenAI was not even OpenAI. So this is the new identity. This is the world that we are living in right now. We have founder, the person who is heading, who heads the organization. Then we have a few AI native engineers who handle various AI agents. So you guys can see in the screen, these 3, 4 agents that are working, they are working together. They are working together to form a task to do something that would have taken maybe a team of 3 or 4 people. That's what an AI native engineer would do. Like I said, the lines that used to differentiate these roles also are blurring more and more as we go ahead. The future that lies is changing drastically. And that's what AI agents are here. So, in simplest terms, what I just put in, the engineers of tomorrow doesn't just write code, they design systems, orchestrate workflows, and lead a team of AI agents across every layer of engineering. Like I said, if the lines get blurry, every layer of engineering is something that you would be working with. All right. So why do these 2 days matter? This is sprint 0, guys. We are going to get into a few core concepts and your skills that is required to start your journey to become an AI native engineer as well. This is for us to open your eyes about what is possible and what are the essentials 101 skills that are required to get into generative AI. Yes, you'll get certificates. So 3 sessions, finally coming to the sessions. What way we going to learn in these 2 days? Today, we're going to get into introductions of LLMs, open APIs for people who had doubts about APIs. You will understand prompt engineering. And yes, we'll talk from a tech perspective. And there are a few concepts and systems and tools also that the mentor really wants to show you, which I'm sure you might have not even heard a lot before. Next, tomorrow's first session, we're going to introduce you to agentic AI workflows. We are getting into Crew AI frameworks, and AI-led coding. For people who are asking me about Cursor, yes, we'll talk about Cursor tomorrow as well, and we'll get into Crew AI frameworks. We'll build various agents that will work together to do a task that would have taken maybe 2 or 3 people. And the last session is introduction to MCP. I know a lot of you guys have heard about MCP, but are not sure what MCP is. Don't worry, we'll get into it. The mentor will tell you about it tomorrow in the last session, what MCP is and agentic orchestration. How do these agents communicate with each other? How they are able to remember what you have told them before as well is something that we'll get into. So a few tangible outcomes that are there. If you guys want to take screenshots, you can take screenshots as well. These are just a few outcomes that you'll be having towards the end of these 2 days. Learn how to build a simple RAG system. Your first AI agent with Crew AI framework. Power. What is the power of Cursor and Claude? Guys, I love Claude. You're going to see Claude is one of the best tools that I like. And yeah, I'm not going to spoil it for you. So no spoilers, don't worry. So you're going to learn how to design sequential multi-agent workflows and understand the key concepts that are there in generative AI across RAGs, agents, and tools. So to get these outcomes, what do you need? Be present. Do I have a commitment from you guys that these 2 days you will spend with me and the mentors? Do I get this commitment from all of you guys? There are Approximately 5,000 people on the call. I want to see 5,000 yeses in the chat. Yes, absolutely. Engage in the demos that you will see. Try to understand how they are happening. Take screenshots, take recordings wherever it's possible. You ask questions. After every session, we'll have Q&A rounds so that you can ask your doubts, whatever you have. You can ask to that mentor, who, by the way, is coming from a profession. Okay, I'm going to tell you about the mentors as well. But these are people who are working in generative AI for very, very long. Before even we knew about what generative AI is, they are working in Gen AI. It's been that long for them. And take down notes. Guys, have your pen and paper ready. Make sure you're writing down. All right. So, 2 days focus, a leap that is required to go ahead 90% of the tech, folks. If yes, type a ready in the chat box for if you want to begin the sprint. Type ready in the chat box. All right. I can see a lot of excitement coming in. Hey. Oh my God. Okay. So I before further ado, I'd like to introduce you to your mentor. By the way, who's ex-NVIDIA, is a machine learning engineer at Adobe, who, by the way, is one of a very close friend of mine, Ishan Datta, who's actually, had we have so many fun having conversations, discussing, making these sessions for you guys. So, guys, please do not spam. Like I've told this before as well, this session that we are bringing for you takes us a lot of efforts. For this 3 hours, we put in 3 days. Only then we are able to do this. So I'm going to introduce you to your mentor. Ishan, are you on the call with us? Yes. Hello, Ishan. How are you?
Hello, how are we doing today, folks? Lovely to be here. There's so much excitement in the chat. I see it continuously flowing. Hello, everyone. How are we today? I will just adjust the camera a little.
Oh my God, Ishan, are you ready to start? I think so. Folks
Yeah,
are ready to learn. Like they
yeah,
are like, let's go. We can see all the love also coming in. By the
yes,
way,
yes.
folks, if you're having questions in between as well, there's something called as Zoom AI Companion. You can just ask questions. If you see, you can go to more, you'll find Zoom AI Companion as there as well. You can ask your doubts to Zoom AI Companion, small, that's the way that you may have regarding the session.
Cool. Karthik, can you close reactions and allow me to change chat settings as well?
Okay, give me 1 second. Yes. You can share and I'll try to close the
Can
reaction.
you can you disable multiple presenters so that I can share
Have,
sound as
but
well?
you can not able to.
No, you will have to disable multiple presenters.
Just give me one
Yeah,
second.
yeah.
One
I will
panelist
start. You
can-
can. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I've done it to one panelist at a time. You should be able to.
Yes, I can. I can. Thank
Awesome.
you. Cool. Let's get started. Yeah. Yes. Do stop the reactions, Karthik. I think that's still visible to a lot of people as well
Yeah,
as me.
just give me a minute.
Uh,
I'll stop that.
yeah.
You can go
Sure,
ahead.
folks. He will stop that. We can get started. Okay. Folks, are you able to see the screen? Type in visible in the chat. Awesome. Awesome. Let's get started. Cool. Welcome to AI for Engineers, folks. My name is Ishan Datta, and I'm going to take this session, be with you for the next 3 hours. Just give me a second. Yeah. So a couple of quick things for the session. There will be a Q&A at the end. Okay, so that's fine. Whatever questions and all you have, you can ask it at the end. Don't worry about that. We will be turning on and off the chats. If you have any follow-up questions or anything like that, you can ask it at the end. All of you will be getting a resources PDF at the end of it. So whenever, don't worry too much about taking, you have to take notes, you have to record everything and so on and so forth. Okay, the resources will be provided to you. Okay, and just concentrate on the session. Okay, just keep your focus absolutely on the particular session. Okay. One second. Yeah. Folks, screen is visible. Can someone once again confirm it? Type in visible.
It's visible.
Yeah. Karthik, I think the reactions are still visible. So what this session will give you, we'll start from the basics. Okay, so we will start from LLM, basics of LLM. What is a large language model? What is generative AI? What is an AI model? Okay, then we will go to prompting. What is prompt engineering? We will cover that. Then we will go to RAGs. We will see a couple of examples, and we will also talk about multimodal AI. Okay, a lot of these things we will be talking a lot more technically. I think some of you have already taken our non-coder mastermind. The difference between that one and this one is this will be very engineer specific. So we will be focusing more on the code side of things for this. Okay. Now, I have a friend who is Rahul. Okay. And when the terms generative AI and all started to, show up, then he started to think about these questions like, what are these heavy terms? Is it going to take my job? How do I actually understand it? Okay. How many of you actually feel and relate to Rahul? Okay. How many of you relate to Rahul? Type in me in the chat. Type in me in the chat. Right. Since Gen AI has come up, like since ChatGPT has launched, things have been going crazy. Okay. It's so hard to keep up with it. It's actually so difficult that every other day it's like some new tool has come up. Every other day it's like new model has come up, the benchmark has been beaten, you are going after. OpenAI is making new announcements every other week, Claude is making announcements every other week, and so on and so forth. So just like Rahul, a lot of you might have these questions. Okay, I can ensure you that after these 2 days you will not have any such questions. Okay. You will not have any such questions. So I'm going to tell you all about it, and we will start from basics. So don't worry for that. Okay. Are we ready to get started? So we will start with what is an AI model. Okay, what is the fundamental of an AI model? Then we will go to what is generative AI, what is LLMs, and then we will dive directly to RAGs. If you have to think about one particular example, okay, that what is a parallel of an AI model? What is an AI model? What are we trying to do? What are we trying to code up? Okay. So if you understand this one example, one parallel, you will be able to understand and go through any of the models that are there. Okay. Every AI model out there is nothing but a trial for us, an attempt of us to replicate the human brain. Okay. Whatever models we have tried to launch, okay, whatever models we have been developing, whether it be for images, whether it be for language, anything else, everything is an attempt by us humans is how to replicate the human brain. Okay, let us see this one particular example. For example, if you show a picture of a cat to a baby, okay, and this is like 1.5 year baby, he does not know what is a cat. Okay, if you show him one picture of a cat and ask him what is this, he might not know and understand. But if you show him multiple pictures of cats, okay, multiple pictures of cats, then slowly and slowly, the baby will be able to figure that out. Okay, what is the baby actually learning? Okay, what is the baby actually learning over here? If you think, it is a very important question that you should think. Given a picture of a cat and a dog, okay, what is it that is telling you? You can tell me in the chat. What is it that is telling you that this is a picture of a cat and this is a picture of a dog? What do you think? What is coming in your mind? Given an image of a picture of a cat and a dog, what is coming in your mind? People are writing features, characteristics, appearance, size, color, similarity, so on and so forth. Yes, that is called as pattern recognition. It is one of the most important terms in machine learning. Okay, that is pattern recognition. So what is the meaning of pattern recognition? Given a set of data, in this case, our data set is a bunch of like hundreds of pictures of cats. The baby is able to identify patterns, like a cat is an animal, it has 4 paws, it will have kind of fuzz, it will have mustache, and so on and so forth. Okay. Once it starts to recognize these patterns really clearly, then when we put this particular cat picture over there, it will be able to tell it clearly for us. Okay. So what did we do? Once initially, like just like a human brain, if it does not know about something, it will not know what is this picture about. But when we show it enough examples, when we show it enough data, it will be able to figure out that these are pictures of a cat and not that of a dog or something else. Okay. Then after we have done this process, this middle image that you see, this process is called as training a model. Okay. This model is called as training a model. And then after that, if we show a new image of this cat or any other cat per se, this baby will be able to identify that this is a cat. Similarly, if we are trying to do this with AI models. If I have an AI model and I'm showing it the image of a cat, okay, it will initially not know what is a cat. Okay. But after that, if I am showing it a picture of a bunch of different cats, okay, there is a lot of data, I feed it a lot of data, it starts to understand these images, it starts to identify patterns just like the human brain. And after all of that, it will be able to figure out that this is the picture of a cat or this is a picture of a dog or whatever pictures we are showing it. Initially, this first image that you are seeing is an untrained model. It does not understand anything. The second image that you are seeing over here, okay, it is the training of a model. We are training it to define that it is a cat. Okay, we will have to code it up. We are not going into that one. I'm just explaining the logic behind these models. And finally, in the last one, this is called as prediction, where I show it a completely new image it has never seen before, and will be able to, it has to tell me whether it is a picture of a cat, whatever it is. Okay, that is something which we can do. Is the concept of AI model clear to everyone? Just type in AI in the chat if it is clear to everyone. Quickly type in AI in the chat. Awesome. Lovely. Let's move on. So what is actually happening in this process? Okay. What is actually happening in the process of training a model? What is this AI model actually learning and what is going on in behind the back? See, if you think about it, I told you about that you can think of features of a cat. Okay. These features are really, really complex. Can you actually think and write a mathematical function which will tell you that this is the fur of a cat or a dog? Can you write a mathematical function that tells you that this has like 4 legs or it has mustache and so on and so forth? It's a very complex thing. It's a very complex thing. And I'm not even going into, we have hundreds of different types of animals. Then you can have human images. It can be anything. Okay. So that is there. So what is actually happening is that we can't write those mathematical equations. But during the training of this particular model, this equation gets generated. Okay, so an AI model is nothing but a huge composite mathematics equation whose parameters change as we train it. What are these parameters? Each of these parameters is kind of corresponding to, intuitively you can think of it, okay, in this way, that these parameters of this equation are the different features that you're thinking of. That does this have hair or not? Does this have fur or not? Does this have mustache or not? And so on and so forth. So an AI model in the backend is nothing but a detailed mathematical equation. Okay. Now, there are a bunch of different domains within AI. I will tell you the top 2 or 3 of them. You can definitely take a screenshot of this slide and so on. One of the first and very interesting parts, this is the part where I even started my machine learning AI journey from, is called as computer vision. What is computer vision? The term vision itself kind of states it. Anything that you can actually visually see. So any form of machine learning model which is running on images or videos, which is running on images or videos, is actually a computer vision model. What can be examples of it? Image classification, object detection, segmentation, style transfers, and so on. Folks, are you able to see the full screen? Full screen is visible, right? I am on the architecture domain page. That is fine, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. So whenever we are talking about an AI model, okay, which is related to images or video datasets. Okay, for example, some of you might have actually got challans by traffic police. Okay, that you were driving, let's say you were overspeeding or something, or you jumped a signal, and that particular camera was kind of caught you overspeeding, clicked a picture of your number plate, okay, and so on. Now that entire thing, okay, clicking your number plate, then capturing your numbers, getting all of that is also a kind of computer vision. The task that we were talking about, that whether this is kind of whether this is a picture of a cat or not, that also comes under computer vision. The next big important part within AI models is called as NLP or NLU. Okay, NLP stands for natural language processing. NLU stands for natural language understanding. Okay, so NLP is basically machine learning related to text data or natural language. Whatever I am conversing with you is natural human language. It's not machine language in which I'm talking about. Okay, so an AI model which can understand natural human language, like just like ChatGPT. Okay, it is able to understand your natural language. You are inputting in natural language. Okay, that comes under NLP, and there are different tasks. We'll talk about those tasks as well. Then another interesting type of models. How many of you have tried generating images on ChatGPT? Type an image in the chat. Type an image in the chat. How many of you have tried generating image? Okay, the kind of models that, so generating images again comes under computer vision, but there is a specific domain of AI models dedicated to this called as diffusion models. Okay, so that is also there. And there are models which come under reinforcement learning. So you might have you might have heard of these particular models, which are able to beat chess grandmasters and so on and so forth. These models which are actually driving cars and all autonomously. So all of these things are actually coming under reinforcement learning. Okay. Now coming to what is generative AI. Okay, what is generative AI? Now the previous one example which you saw, like given an image of a cat or an image of a dog, tell me that what is it? Okay, is it an image of a cat or is it an image of a dog? Okay, in this case, am I generating any new information for you, or am I just letting you know by logic what is the correct option? Okay, in this particular case. Okay, quickly tell me in the chat. In this particular case, I've given an image of a dog and an image of a cat to an AI model, and that AI model is telling me that it is a picture of a cat or a dog. Is it generating new information for me or for you, or is it just about by logic it is telling you what is correct? Just letting me know, right? There is some logic, it has understood this pattern. Similarly, if you talk about, there is a topic called as sentiment classification. Okay, given this particular statement, let's say you go on Amazon, Myntra, or any of other these things, and you try checking the reviews of a product. Let's say I'm purchasing a bag over there. In this case, the review of a bag says that the zippers are really good. Okay, the quality of bag is really high. So this means a positive review. There can be a negative review, which can be like the quality of zipper is very low, the fabric of the bag got torn like in a day, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that is a negative review. So if I have an AI model, okay, the second question I'm asking, if I have an AI model, given a review, it can tell me that it can tell me that okay, given an AI model, if you are telling me, it can tell me that this is a positive review or this is a negative review. Okay, is it generating new information for me, or again, it is going by logic? An AI model which can tell me this is a positive review, this is a negative review, it is generating new information or not, or just by logic it is telling me. Correct? Correct. But in the other scenarios, okay, you go on ChatGPT, you go on Midjourney, you go on Grok, any of these platforms, you're able to write text and generate an image out of it. Okay, or you are going on ChatGPT and it is generating text for me. So over there, is it generating new information for you or just giving you that is there? It is generating, right? So that is the difference between normal AI models. Okay, they are not really generating something new, no generation of new information happening. But in case of generative AI models, these models can generate new outputs. Okay, so that is the primary difference. Moving on, generative AI models can create new content like text, images, code, video, voice, and music based on learned patterns from existing data. Now, what is an LLM? So within the term generative AI, we have this term of LLMs. Okay, what are LLMs? LLM stands for large language model. All of you know what is an AI model. You have understood an AI model is something which has been trained on a certain amounts of data. It has understood the patterns in that data and is able to predict an output for us. What is a language model? Any AI model which has an understanding of human language. Okay. Similarly, what is a large language model? The answer is in the term itself. A large language model is a language model which has been trained on large amounts of data, like billions and billions of words that's out there. And the size of that model is itself in billions of parameters. Okay. So an AI model which understands human language and has been trained on tremendous amounts of data is called as a large language model. But what are these patterns this model is actually learning? Okay, what are these patterns which this model is actually learning? Can someone tell me what are these patterns or features which everyone is learning? Folks, please don't spam the chat. Neural network, predicting text. What are these features or what are these patterns which a large language model learns? Which a large language model learns? It can be grammar. Okay. What are the adjectives in the word? What are the nouns in the word? What are the pronouns in the word? So on. What is the context in which a word has been used? What is the context in which one particular word is being used to another word? I will give you an example. If I give you this particular sentence, okay, I have given you one sentence. The Apple MacBook has an Apple logo. Okay, I will repeat it again. The Apple MacBook has an Apple logo. Okay, in this case, is the meaning of the first apple and the second apple the same, or are they different? Is the yes or no in the chat? The Apple MacBook has an Apple logo. Is the meaning of the word apple across both the places the same? Correct. It is different. In the first case, we are talking about the company, the brand Apple. In the second case, I'm talking about the fruit apple. So LLMs have a very good understanding of what is the context in which a word has to be used as well. Okay. Now, models go through a lot of training. As I said, they continuously keep on going through this data. They update their parameters and they get us the outputs. But what is the best way to actually talk to these models? Then this concept of prompt engineering came up. Okay, what is prompt engineering? Prompt engineering. A lot of you, I believe, almost all the 5,000 people on the call have used ChatGPT, right? What do you do with ChatGPT? You would go over a ChatGPT and you would be kind of asking a question or a query, and ChatGPT would respond to you. That's a basic prompt. The input which you are giving is a basic prompt that you're giving. But there are better ways to ask questions to ChatGPT. Okay. For example, let us say as a developer, you have manager. Okay. You have written your code and there was some issue in the code. There are two ways in which you could go to your manager with that particular issue. You can just go to, let's say, my manager's name is Rahul. Okay, so I can just go to, hey Rahul, this is the piece of code I have, and this is the error I have. Please help me fix it. Okay. Do you think this is a good way to ask yes or no in the chat? To ask someone for help? Okay. Hey Rahul, this is my piece of code. This is my error message. Please help me. Please fix it. I can say with absolute certainty that most of you go on ChatGPT, paste it just like this, and ask it to please fix it. Do you do this or not? Be honest with yourself. Type in yes in the chat. Do you do this or not? You do it, right? I know it. What could have been a better way to ask the same question? That I could have gone that, hey Rahul, this is the program project I had been working on, and I'm running into some parallel processing issues. I have already utilized the multi-processing library from Python, but in the threading, in the way I was using threading, there is some issue with the course which I have. I have already identified these three possible issues that are there, but I don't know exactly which one should I be diving into. Can you help me out debug the same? Is this better or not? Type in better in the chat if you think this is a much better way to ask a question. In this case, the last case, your manager might have been able to help you a little, but in the second case, he would be able to help you a lot better because he has much more context. So that is the magic of prompts. So you have to be very clear about the kind of prompt which you are setting. The better your prompt is, the better your answer is going to be. Now, there are a bunch of different types of prompting techniques. There's zero-shot prompting, few-shot prompting, chain of thought, and so on and so forth. I will get you a very simple website for this. So there's this website called as promptingguide.ai, which you all can check out. In this case, it has a very detailed prompt engineering guides on the different types of prompts that you can. Let me show you one of them. For example, this is how most of you currently prompt it, like just a single statement. What it has asked that classify this text into neutral, negative, or positive. I think the vacation is okay. And what is the sentiment? So it tells me the sentiment is neutral. This is the input you would give to ChatGPT or Claude or any other thing. So this is zero-shot prompting. You have not given it any examples of that particular thing. But if we talk about few-shot prompting, let's say about this, a watpu is a small furry animal native to this place. An example of a sentence that uses the word watpu is this particular sentence. Okay. Now, to do a fardaddle means to jump up and down really fast. An example of the sentence that uses the word fardaddle is. So what did I do in this case? I gave it an example. In my prompt, I gave it an example as well. And then I asked it a question. Then it gave me a solution. Okay, so this is called as few-shot prompting. Then there's chain of thought prompting as well, where I give it step by step. I ask it to think step by step and so on and so forth. There are too many types. So there are hundreds of prompting techniques. Okay, but what we at Outskill did is that we figured out one particular prompt structure that works the best for you. And we at Outskill call it the magic prompt formula. How many of you want to see this magic prompt formula for us? Type in magic in the chat. Type in magic in the chat. Awesome. Okay. So just like the last case, I told you that this is how most people ask for bugs on, try to get their bugs sorted on ChatGPT. Just go over there and ask it to fix it. Let's say you are a senior software engineer. You have 10 years of experience. You have been working in a startup. Okay, the scenario, 10 years of software engineering. You're a team lead. You're working in a startup. And you have been writing a lot of code like day in and out. And you have come to, the startup has come to a little stable stage. And now you want to write a code review checklist. Okay, till now it wasn't possible for you because things were moving very fast, but you want to standardize a couple of things. And for this, you want to generate a code review checklist. Okay, this is how most people will write their prompt, which is like, help me create a code review checklist for my team. We work with Python, JavaScript, and Go. Okay, very basic. Doesn't give a lot of information. ChatGPT does not know what does my team look like. ChatGPT does not know what are the kind of vulnerabilities and things I'm looking for. It does not have enough context. The prompt is too vague. There can be too many things which can be part of a code review. Am I talking in terms of college students? Am I talking in terms of entry-level teams? Am I talking in terms of senior teams? It does not know. Because of that, the output will also be very, very generic. I will show you the exact output as well. What we call as the magic prompt formula is that instead of asking it directly this way, you break it into 4 different parts. What are those 4 different parts? In your prompt, the first thing which you should write is the role of that particular AI model. Okay. So whenever you are going to ChatGPT does not know how he is supposed to act. Okay. In this case, you want ChatGPT to act as a senior software engineer. There can be cases like, let's say you are a marketeer. Okay, you would want ChatGPT to act like a marketeer. You don't want to ask a very generic prompt to ChatGPT. Okay, so the first thing that you have to do is tell ChatGPT or any AI model, Claude, Grok, whatever you're using, what is their role. In this case, I have written, you are a senior staff engineer with 10 plus years of experience leading code reviews at companies like Google, Netflix, and Stripe. You have seen code bases scale from startup to enterprise and have deep expertise in preventing production incidents through effective code review processes. So I've made it very clear how is he supposed to act, who he is he. The second thing you should be mentioning in your prompt is the task. What is this LLM supposed to do? In task, I've written, create a comprehensive code review checklist and implementation guide for a mid-sized engineering team, 50 plus developers working across Python, JavaScript, and Go microservices. Deliverable should include both the checklist and a rollout strategy. So I've given it certain context about the team and the experience. Then in the third part, you give him instructions on how to perform that particular task. In this case, focus heavily on practical actionable items that catch real world issues before they hit production. Prioritize items that prevent security vulnerabilities, performance bottlenecks, maintainability depth, and so on. And I've also asked it to tier these. What are P0 tasks? What are P1 tasks? What are priority 2 tasks, like which can be done later as well, so that the teams can adapt it step by step and make it opinionated based. And I've given it some context about my team, like there are 8 microservices, 2 million plus daily active users, current pain points like 15% of deployments require hot fixes, current tech stack, integrations, and so on and so forth. So I have converted this particular prompt. It's extremely vague. Help me write a code review checklist. For whom? What does the team look like? What do you work on? To something which is extremely structured. This is what we call as the outskill prompt formula. You have 4 parts to it. First part, role, tell the LLM who is he. Second part is the task, tell the LLM what is the task it is supposed to perform. Third topic is instruction. How is the LLM supposed to complete that particular task? What are the things which he should include? What are the things he should exclude? Fourth is data, any additional context that you want. Okay, let me show this to you in action. I'm sure a lot of you might have already seen things like these on ChatGPT and Claude. So I will introduce you to a new platform called as Anthropic Console. Okay, so Anthropic is actually the company which has built the Claude series of models. So you might have heard of Claude 3.5, 3.7. 4 Claude models are the best models in the world as of now for programming. Okay, and any coder you ask, it's the Claude models. The company which has developed these particular Claude models is called as Anthropic. Okay, so if you go on Claude.ai or open chatgpt.com and so on, you will just see a basic chat interface. You can just interact with it. But there are a lot of interesting functionalities which you can unlock if you're using something like Anthropic Console. I will show you in a while. Okay. So whenever you are opening the console, the dashboard opens up, and then you can just click on create a prompt. Okay. So a similar prompt will open up. Just like ChatGPT, you can enter your prompt, whatever you want to ask over here. You can ask it here. You can define a system prompt as well. Okay, system prompt is basically how is the system supposed to behave. That is also something you can do. You can select your models from here. Okay, so I said Anthropic has all the Claude models. So whichever you want, Claude 4 Opus, Sonnet, Haiku, Opus 4, and so on and so forth. You see these numbers, these are actually dates. Okay, so the dates, you can think of it like checkpoints, 2025, 14th of 14/5/2025. So date in which this model was locked, basically. Okay, and a bunch of these different things. So what I did, I went on the Anthropic console and put this particular prompt, exact prompt which I showed you. Okay, help me write a code review checklist for my team. We work with Python, JavaScript, and Go. Okay, let us see what it has created. I think, okay. Let us see what it has created. Yeah. Okay, so it has talked about general code quality, readability, documentation, something Python specific and all, best practices, security, some things about testing, usage tips, and so on. Very short, crisp answer. Okay. I don't feel This is what I would expect a software engineer, a staff level software engineer with 10, 20 years of experience to come up with. This is too basic. This is too basic. Anyone can come up with that. When you put the same prompt on the Anthropic console, role, task, instruction, data, this is the quality of output that you get. Okay. Enterprise code review framework. It starts with an executive summary, first of all. Okay. Key metrics this framework targets: reduces hotfix deployment from 15% to less than 5%. Average PR review time reduces from 3 days to 24 hours. Maintain 99.9% uptime SLA. And we have divided into 3-tier code review blocks. P0 is the most important ones, then P1 after P0, and P2 is kind of optimizations and like linting and all. Okay. In P0, the most important tasks we have about security. So universal in across all languages, these are the things which you should check off: secrets detection, data exposure, SQL detection. It has given me code samples as well, which I can refer to. Okay, so this is blocking, this is approved, this is blocking, this is approved. Go specific, Python specific. The next thing on P0 is like concurrency and the race conditions. So async context, shared state, any of these things, unsafe things should not be happening. Again, code examples of everything. Then what can happen in JavaScript, in Go routine leaks and all can be there. With everything, it is a very detailed code snippets also possible. In database performance, these are things that you should do. API design and integration. This is just P0, folks. Now coming to P1, architecture and design, universal, you have single responsibility. Functions and classes should be single purpose. You should not stack multiple things into one particular function. Again, examples for that: JavaScript, look for test coverage, edge cases, integration tests, and so on. In performance and scalability of algorithm, no obvious O(n) square or worse algorithms. Large objects should be properly cleaned up, and so on. And now we have P2. Okay, and now it has given us the implementation strategy as well. Do this in week 1 and 2. Do this in week 3 and 4. Do this in week 5 and 6, and so on. And what are the KPIs of this particular thing has also been given to us. You see the difference in the output. This was the first output. I will show you again. Okay, just some basic headings: error handling, code style. Okay, this is what you can do, and it has already ended. Best practices on all. In this case, you have priority wise bifurcation. These are the most important things. Then language wise code examples as well, that this is what you have to do, this is what you don't have to do. P0, P1, P2, and then the rollout strategy and what are the KPIs. This is what I would expect from a 10 plus years experienced software engineer to get me. Do you think, okay, even after this, let's say I give you this particular prompt. It might be that you all are using something else. Some of you might be using some different backend, some different front end. Your team sizes might be different. Okay. If I just give you this prompt and you use something like ChatGPT, you will have to manually change these values over here. It would have been better if in this prompt as well, there was a way you could just remove this and use all of this as variables. That is something you could do with the Anthropic console. In this case, what I have done is these numbers, the team size and all the numbers which are there, you can wrap them in double curly braces. Anything that is there within double curly braces in the Anthropic console automatically converts into a variable. Let me show you certain example variables which I've already defined. So these are the number 10 different variables which I have. Okay, you can see. So in this case, I had talked about the daily users somewhere, I believe. 2 million plus active daily users, 8 microservices, 99% uptime SLA. In this case, everything, okay, all of this has actually been converted into variables. So anyone, like if I just give this prompt to you, okay, you can just fill these variables and Anthropic will be able to generate it for you. Okay, so like 2 million daily active users, uptime SLA 99%, hotfix percentage 15%, review time 3 days, and anyone can actually generate these for you. So if I have to run this, okay, if I have to actually, run this, what I can just go over here and click on run, and I can fill these parameters. Let's say for now, I just want to generate all of these parameters. That is also something you can do. Yes. Folks, don't worry, you will get your resources PDF, you will get all of this. Don't worry about that. So it has generated certain test cases for me. Okay, that this is my tech stack, these are integration tools, review time, and so on and so forth. And I can just run it. It will go through the cloud models. It will go through the cloud models and it will generate a very detailed. We've already seen the kind of details it does. It will generate a very detailed output for you all. Do you think this is powerful or not? Type in powerful in the chat. Do you see the difference in the kind of outputs that you get? Type in powerful in the chat, folks. We have tested this exact prompt technique across multiple paradigms. Okay, right from debugging code to generating marketing pitches and all, and so on and so forth. Like it works really, really well across multiple different paradigms. It works extremely well. It is powerful, right? Okay. Moving on. What if I want information which is actually unavailable to ChatGPT? Like you have an input question. As of now, what do? You have an input question, you pass it to ChatGPT, and you get your answer. Okay. What if something which you are asking to ChatGPT, it has not been trained on that? This is where the concept of knowledge cutoff comes into the picture. You saw these numbers which were there with these model names. This is the last date in which the model was particularly updated. Okay. After that, whatever happened after that date, it does not know. So let's say, for example, you're using a model in ChatGPT, okay, and that particular model has been last trained or updated on June 2024. Do you think it will be able to answer me about events happened after June 2024 without web search access? Tell me yes or no in the chat. An AI model trained up till the data of June 2024, you go on ChatGPT and ask it questions. Okay, after events which happened after June 2024, will it be able to answer just the model without any external help or not? Correct. It will not be able to answer that. And that is where the concept of RAG comes into the picture. RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. Okay. Now I will explain each of these terms in detail, and then we will dive into the code as well. So this is the section where the code part of it will start. Let us think about this particular question. Okay. Who won the IPL in 2025? A model which has been trained only till June 2024 will be not able to answer this question on its own. But if I go to ChatGPT, if I go to Claude, it's very quickly able to actually give me the correct answer. What is happening over there? Whenever you ask this exact question on ChatGPT, okay, what it will do, it will initialize web search, okay, to get the relevant information. So what it will do, it will pass through multiple web pages talking about IPL wins of 2025. It will go through certain databases if you have given it access to. Let's say you have database access to the IPL points table. So it will go through all of these documents across the internet and databases and fetch the relevant information which will contain that RCB had actually won that particular IPL season. What it will do is that in this particular question, who won the IPL in 2025, this is your input question or your input prompt. Whatever I have retrieved from web pages, databases and all, it will put all of that along with my input question. So my input question, is who won the IPL in 2025? I did web search and all of that context has now been added to my input question. This is called as augmentation, which is the A part of RAGs. The first step, retrieval of relevant information. Where are we retrieving this information from? It can be websites, web pages, any databases we have given it access to, any PDFs which we have uploaded to, any image we have uploaded to, any place on earth. It is retrieving information that comes under retrieval. That retrieved context gets added to my input question. So both of them go together now to any LLM that we have to send. This is the augmentation part of it. What does the term augmentation mean? It means to change something. In this case, I have changed my input question and I have added this additional context to it. That is why it is called as augmentation. And finally, this is called as augmentation, this entire thing, retrieval and putting it along with my input question. And finally, I can now send it to an LLM in ChatGPT and it will be able to answer. This is called as generation. Given the relevant context and the input question, it is generating the answer. Okay. Coming back to it again, we had a question, who won the IPL in 2025? If I directly go to ChatGPT, cut off all access to internet, PDF, website, databases, and all of that, it will not be able to answer you. It will tell you that I have been trained only till this state, and after that, I have no context about what is happening. But Today, if you go on ChatGPT, it will be able to answer that. How is it able to do that? It will search the internet. It will look for web pages and articles on IPL wins. It will look for databases of IPL points and so on and so forth. It will gather not just any context, but a relevant context and get it to you. Will search across all the places and get it to you. This process of retrieving relevant context is called as retrieval. Okay. And once you have retrieved this context, you pair it up with your input question. So what was the input question? Who won the IPL 2025? You pair it up with IPL points table and articles on IPL 2025. This is called as augmentation, where you have added your input question to the context that is there. And finally, the generation part, the LLM will utilize all of this context and the question to generate your answer. Okay. If you have understood the concept of RAG, type in RAG in the chat. Then I will show you exactly certain very interesting examples for that. I'm sure all of you have already used RAGs. You just did not know the exact terminology. I will give you certain examples. I will give you 3 examples. Using those examples, you will be able to definitely understand it a lot more clearly. Okay. Before that, there is an entire, whenever we are talking about such concepts, RAGs or agents and all, there is an entire ecosystem which is required to build a RAG application. There are multiple things which will come into picture. Like certain things, you can take the screenshot of this slide at the end. For example, embedding models are required. We'll talk about embedding in later. So there are certain models by OpenAI, Cohere, Hugging Face, and all. And there are vector databases in which you actually store your information. These can be like LanceDB, Quadrant, Pinecone. Then this retrieval logic, which I was talking about, there are systems and Python frameworks which allow you to retrieve very, very efficiently from wherever you want. So these frameworks are called as that you can use LangChain, Llama Index, Haystack. Haystack is one of the examples which we are actually going to see in like 5 minutes. Then the LLM, the reasoning layer, can again be coming from OpenAI, Anthropic, Mistral, Gemini. For orchestration, if you want to manage all of this, the frameworks can again be LangChain, Llama Index, and Haystack. If you have built all of this, you want to host it somewhere, you can use DustDT, Unstructured IO, Clue AI, Vespa, even Hugging Face Spaces is a very great place if you want to just get started. And then you have end-to-end starter kits. You can use OpenLevin and all. It has all of this together. So you can just take a quick screenshot of this particular RAG ecosystem. As we move on, you'll be able to make a lot more sense of this particular slide. Okay. Now let us look at a couple of demos for RAGs. So how many of you have actually wondered that there are a lot of influencers on different platforms, be it Instagram, Twitter. Let's talk about LinkedIn, for example. Okay. And these people somehow are able to put really high quality content on a daily basis. And you just keep thinking, how is this person's post getting so many likes? How is this person able to write such nice storyline, create such nice posts on a day-to-day basis? Okay. And if I am doing it, first of all, I don't know what is the topic I should write about. Okay. That is the very first problem. Whenever I've asked people, why are not active on LinkedIn? They're like, what do I write about? I don't know. Okay. And then there are these people who somehow seem that they know everything that is very exciting across the world. And they are the first people to write about that. How many of you have actually wanted to write something on LinkedIn, wanted to build your social presence, but were not able to do basically because of these reasons, whichever I mentioned? Type in me in the chat. If only there was an easier way, like tell me the topic, like how to get started. Will people even like my post? Is there a way I can actually validate my things as well? Correct? Yeah. Let me show you a very interesting tool for that. It is called as Social Sonic. Okay. What Social Sonic can do, you can go to app.socialsonic.com. Okay, you can go to Social Sonic. And Social Sonic is basically meant for those people who want to establish a very strong social presence. That's like the name. You can become a Sonic in social media. Let me show you a very interesting feature with the platform product Social Sonic has. You see this research button over here? I click on research button. I can see the top post trending this month on LinkedIn, as well as the trending influencers which are there on LinkedIn. So let's say I want to just see what are the top trending posts on LinkedIn for this month. I can just click over here. And there are different topics you can see. PyTorch, Python, data science, AI. Let's say I want to become an artificial intelligence influencer. So I can click on artificial intelligence. Social Sonic in just a couple of seconds will get me the top trending post of this particular month over here. Okay, it has already got. So now a lot of you were thinking, oh, what topic do I write about? Okay, folks, it is extremely important. To be honest, if it hadn't been for LinkedIn or Twitter, like me being active and putting my thoughts over there, I don't think, I think I would have been at a very, very different place today. It's not just about you being really good at something. It's also about people knowing that as well, right? If you're building something, there should be people who should know that this person knows his shit. Okay, so that is there. So this will help you with that particular thing that, okay, you can go over here, you can read a couple of these posts and you can figure out, okay, these are the topics which are trending. I can write about this. But using Social Sonic, what you can also do, let's say this one. Let's say what Sundar Pichai is talking about. As students get ready to start classes around the world, we are making advanced AI tools available to college students and so on, having regular access to computers and so on and so forth. Let's say I want to write a similar kind of a post. Okay, I can just go over here, or maybe let's say this one. Thrilled to share Accenture's latest collaboration with Qatar Airways and harnessing and so on. What I can do, I can just click on this remix button. What this remix button will do, let me show you in a second. Okay, it will take this post. Okay, coming back to the context of rags. Okay, coming up to the context of rags. What was the rag? The R part of it is retrieval. In this case, I have retrieved the context from someone else's posts. Okay, you see, its rags are not just about like very complex systems and so on. It's also about like it's already there, deeply integrated in each of our lives, but we are just not aware of these things. So the first part is done for us. Retrieval is done. I have retrieved context from someone else's post. Okay, so this is the topic. This has been retrieved over there. Now what I can do, I will augment this. Okay, so I will do some augmentation. I can write my writing styles. I can create a custom style for myself that this is how I write posts. For example, I use a lot of emojis in my post, so I can put it over here. I like to have spacing, good spacing, then headings and all in my post. I can put all of that. So let's say, let's just go with the default post category. What should the post reflect? Is it something about thought leadership? Is it a career milestone I am sharing, value driven promotion, and so on, personal achievement, and so on? This is an industry insight. We are talking about Accenture making some deals. What is the length of post I want? And you can also use a viral template. Basically, social learning already has these viral templates, and you can generate that. And this is where you can prompt it as well. Okay, like I can ask it, make the post engineer focused. Okay, now you see what has happened. I have given it a prompt. Okay, I've given it a prompt. I have retrieved the context from someone else's post. So that is the retrieval part happening. Augmentation has happened over here. I've modified whatever I wanted. I will click on create. And I started creating a LinkedIn post from me, from one of the top trending posts of the month. So it is writing, it will take a couple of seconds to generate. A lot of you might have also seen these AI carousels, carousel type of posts where you have certain images and something text is written over there. These kind of things you can also generate from this. Okay. It takes a while to generate, but I think is the concept of RAG basically coming out to you all? Yeah, it has already generated. Yeah, in aviation is soaring, so it will give me a couple of different. It has generated 3 posts on. Let's see the original post actually first. Oh, yeah. Accenture and Qatar Airways have launched AI Skyways for enhanced customer experience. Something about Accenture doing with Qatar Airways. Okay, let's see what it has written. Ever wondered how AI can define air travel? Qatar Airways and Accenture's AI Skyways is leading the way. In my journey to AI, personalization is key. AI Skyways focus on customer experience, operational excellence, and so on and so forth. Okay, and you can also check different posts, and you can also write a first comment, and you can just go over here and publish it directly. You can pick any of the trending posts. You can pick any of the trending influencers. You can like make a list of these are top 5 influencers in my category. Pick any of their posts, click on remix, retrieve information from there, augment it with whatever you want to make changes on top of it, and ask it to create. This create is basically the generation part of ranks. Okay, isn't this cool or not? Type in cool in the chat if you think this makes your workflow really simple. It's called a Social Sonic. Very useful app, very useful application. And I personally know most of these influencers. I myself have 20,000 or 25,000 followers. And I know a lot of people at 100,000, 200,000, 500,000 followers using this exact tool. There are more tools like this, like Social Sonic, which can be like Super Grow and all, which is there. Okay, but this is an extremely useful tool. It's called as app.socialsonic.com. I will just put the link in the chat as well. Let me just copy it. Okay. Okay. Now, moving on. If I have, a lot of you might have heard about Perplexity, especially after Airtel has done that particular deal. So, how many of you think Perplexity is an LLM? Type in yes or no in the chat. Type in yes or no in the chat if you think Perplexity is an LLM. Yes or no in the chat. Wow, I see a 50. I did not expect that, to be honest. The response to be 50-50. Okay. It's not an LLM. It's not an LLM. Perplexity is not competing with any LLM out there. Perplexity is actually a competitor of Google search, not entirely of Google, just with Google search. So it is an enhanced search engine which has AI capabilities. Okay. Let me show that to you. Let us say, okay, I have this very long prompt which I have written. Okay, that I'm in. So this is you can just go on perplexity.ai. You get a couple of pro searches free as well on the free tier, even if you don't have the pro version. Let us say AI assisted coding is picking up really well. Okay, as Karthik already said, like Cursor, one of the AI assisted IDEs, is already writing 1 billion lines of code a day, and the total billions of lines of code written in a day is 3 to 4 billion. Okay, and we're just talking about Cursor. If we punch in the other AI agents for AI IDs that are there, the number will be a lot higher. Okay, given this, I see a market opportunity that I want to create an AI assisted coder, okay, or an IT for that. But I am not an analyst. Okay, I am a very good programmer, but I'm not an analyst. So I have to do a very good analysis, or basically something which a consultant would hire a consultant or an analyst for. That this is what I want to achieve. These are the certain questions I'm looking answer for. You have to get me this answer. Like, what am I looking for? I'm interested in gaining comprehensive understanding of AI assisted tooling ecosystem for software engineers. Could you provide me an in-depth analysis of the current state of the space? Specifically, I would like to know overall size and market growth of AI assisted developers. Who are the major players in the ecosystem? Include both established companies and startups. Typical adoption rate amongst engineers. How do AI assisted tools impact developers? What type of tasks engineers do most frequently? What are entry barriers, key opportunities in this space, different categories of engineers and how they are using these tools, recent innovations, and how does AI assisted tooling ecosystem compare to other tools revolutions in the history? Very detailed prompt. And this is something which I would have given. I would have hired a freelance analyst like or a consultant, and I would want because I don't know about all of this. I can't do this research. Okay. Honestly, okay, be honest with yourself. Okay, and tell me if you had to do this research manually and think that you are going to start a company. It's not like a very small project like which you have to launch, which you can do with very small amount of research. Let's say you are going to start a company. You would really want very good quality research to be done for that. Okay, if you had to do this level and with a lot of depth, how many days it would take you without any using any LLM? Be honest with yourselves. How many days or weeks? Okay, how many days or weeks would it take for you? Someone is like 6 months, a week, 15 days, 100 days. Someone is like unlimited. A week forever, 7 days, a week, 2 weeks, a month. A realistic number which I feel would take is a month. At least like 3 to 4 weeks is what it would take. With perplexity, you could do that detailed research in 3, not months, not weeks, not days, 3 minutes. For that, this is just the normal search button. Don't use this. There is a second button which is called as deep research. What is the difference between normal search and deep research? Deep research is more optimized to go into more number of reports and analyze basically in a lot more depth than the search button. Whenever you have such detailed prompt, you want to use it as an analyst or as a consultant, use the deep research tool and just run it. Okay. It will take 3 minutes and it will generate it for you. Folks, notice exactly what is happening over here. Again, coming back to the RAG context, what is the first thing? Retrieval. It is currently going through multiple sources, going through all of these articles. It ran the search queries, reading all of these different articles on best AI tool developers, AI tool market size, coding market size, and so on, basically relevant to my first context. So this is where the retrieval part of it is happening. Okay. Once all of the retrieval will be done, it will be augmented. Okay. What will the augmentation mean? Relevant to every question. You can only see questions over here. Relevant to every question, the answer will be the context for that question will be present. Finally, all of that will go into the LLM, whichever you have selected, and it will generate the answer. Okay. So currently it is running. It is running. I had already run it. I can directly show you the exact same prompt, overall size, and so on. Okay. In 3 minutes, it has gone through, first of all, see, 72 sources. 72. I am being very honest with you all. You can't even find manually 72 good sources for one particular topic, that too tailored to what you're looking for. It has gone through statistics websites, gone through market insights, gone through LinkedIn posts as well, research insights, reports by Goldman Sachs, Market US, Data Economy, Tab 9, TechCrunch, and it has gone through cursors, all of these editors, individual websites as well. Okay, and GitHub blogs, METR blogs, even the research blogs as well. Okay, and so many different. It has gone through Stack Overflow as well. Interesting. Okay, so many of these. It has gone through a couple of different government websites as well. Okay, 72 resources. It has gone through, analyzed, and given you a very detailed research answer. Okay, AI assisted coding tooling system. Market Titan goes. Okay, I did not even ask it to generate diagrams. It has already generated those for me. 2023, $4.3 billion. 2024, $5.2 billion. 2025, currently it's projected at $6.22 billion. Projected by 2030, it is a $26 billion market. Okay. You can see it has emerged as one of the most transformative forces. AI is developing, it is growing, currently valued at $5.2 billion, projected to reach $26 billion as well. Okay, growth is driven by several factors. Who are the major players? First of all, GitHub Copilot, 20 million all-time users as of July 2025. It gives me very accurate details, just like a consultant or an analyst would have given. And a lot of you might think that, hey, Shan, is this actually accurate? Can I check this? Yes. Whenever Perplexity is providing you certain data, it links the source from where it has gotten it. Okay. So if you're not sure if these numbers are true or not, you can just click on this. It will show you the two different sources. You can read those sources and verify that yourself, but more or less it gives you the correct answer because it has validation agents in the backend as well, which check that that does not happen. Then ChatGPT maintains highest overall usage. Emerging competitors. Okay, I had asked you to give me emerging startups as well. Like Cursor has emerged as significant challenger. 1 million plus daily active users, 500 million in annualized recurring revenue. There's another company called Tab 9, then Codium. It has shown me AI coding tools and user comparison. Okay. Then you have market positioning strategies. You have universal integrations like GitHub Copilot or AI-based ID experiences, enterprise security. What are the adoption rates? Who are using these? Okay, at academic researchers are the most users, mobile developers and data scientists, not so much. Enterprise adoption. What are the gains in productivity? Okay, what are the numbers that are there? GitHub Copilot, 55% faster in control tasks. Contrary findings are also there. Code quality metrics, how code coverage can be improved, and so on. Primary use cases, code completion and generation, 88% of users accept their suggestions that they're getting AI generated. Learning new technologies, debugging text generation, and so on. Language specific use cases as well. Like Python has become the most popular language, then security issues, technical challenges, cost and ROI, undeserved niches, is then usage patterns by developer categories. How are front-end developers utilizing AI-assisted coding? How are back-end developers using it? How are data scientists using it? Then recent technologies like multi-agent systems have shown up. Then natural language to application generation, CI/CD pipeline integrations, comparison with historical tool revolutions that were there in detail with exact data, folks. This is all. It took me, I think, more than 3 minutes to just read this report to you. Perplexity ran its entire RAG pipeline, went through 72 sources. First of all, found these relevant 72 sources, went through all of the data that was there, compiled all of that, augmented that with the input prompt we had given, and generated this output. Do you think this is crazy or not? Type in crazy in the chat, folks. Type in crazy in the chat. This is all under 3 minutes. Can you believe it took me more than that amount of time to just go through that? Within 3 minutes, it has done that. Now I believe, yes, this is a RAG. What is the RAG part of it? A retrieval. First of all, it retrieved all of the resources from which it wanted to get its information and from which it wanted to get its information from. Then it augmented, this is my input prompt. It passed on all this relevant context to my input prompt and passed it through the LLM. So my LLM had the questions which I had asked and the retrieved information that was there. Based on all of that, it generated my information. So that is RAG, retrieval, augmentation, and generation for you. Now that all of you have a much more detailed understanding of what RAGs are, we can now move to the code part of it, where I will actually code up a very simple RAG application for you all, and things will make a lot more sense for you. Okay. So for this, we are going to use a framework called as Haystack. Haystack is a Python-based framework which you can use to create RAG applications. There are more like Llama Index and all, which you can use. Haystack usually has a simpler, I would say that simpler code. I believe it's easier to understand for people who are just beginning with it. That's why we have put it here. Before I can explain you the application of RAG and all, I have to explain you the term embedding. That is extremely important. Okay. What is embedding? Let me show you. Okay. Look at this particular data set. Okay. Look at this particular data set. This is called as MNIST data set, one of the most popular data sets out there in the world of AI. This data set is extremely special because the first AI model of the world was trained on this data set. What is this data about? You can see all of these images, black images with white colored numbers. These are actually handwritten digits. So someone actually by their hand, they wrote multiple of these digits, one digit in one particular image. They wrote these digits by hand, and then they provided labels like this is the image of 5, this is the image of 0, image of 4, image of 1, image of 9. Okay, this is called as the MNIST dataset, where you're given images with handwritten digits along with the labels of what is the number in this particular digit. Okay, I will show you a projector. Okay, the images which I showed you over here. So MNIST has images of handwritten numbers from 0 to 9. Each image has only one number. Okay, all of them have been plotted in this 3D diagram. All of them have been plotted in this particular 3D diagram. Okay. Do you think this particular plot that you are seeing over here, is this random or does this have a pattern? Type in random or pattern in the chat, folks. Do you see any pattern? Or do you think this is random? The images which I showed you, they have been just plotted in 3D over here. A lot of people are like random, a lot of people are like, okay, pattern. Let me help you out more. If I type the number 1, you will be able to see all of these numbers on one side of the graph. Okay. If I type the number 0, okay, if I'm typing the number 0, you can see it on the completely other side of the graph. All the ones are here, all the zeros are here. What is making this particular, so this is generated by an AI model, the numbers, the 3D, this graph that has been generated by an AI model. Is the number 1 and 0 really so different? If I do 9, you can see it is spread across over here. If I do a 6, there is a significant overlap between the numbers 9 and 6. Similarly, if I'm doing a number 7, okay, there will be a significant overlap between all the 7s and the 1s. Do you notice a pattern over here, folks? Do you notice a pattern over here? Can someone tell me what is the pattern based on which this particular diagram has been created? What is the pattern? If I do the number 8, okay, let's see where are the 8s. It's 8 and 0. Okay, 8s and 0s are also very, very similar. The structure, the shape. So there is this AI model which is actually able to understand the difference between shapes. Okay, what is the structure I am talking about over here? In this case, I'm talking about if an image has a straight line, it can be either a 1, it can be 7, it can be 4, 5, anything. If it has a curve, it can be again, it can also be a 5, it can be an 8, it can be a 0. Okay, this is fine. If it has a full circle, it can either be a 0 or an 8. It can't be any other numbers. If it has two circles, it is an 8. If it has one circle, it has a 0. You see how I'm deriving different patterns from different digits? All of you already know of all of these concepts. Okay, this is already something how your mind actually works like. But the fact is that you're not aware of that, this particular thing. Okay, so this is called as creating embeddings of a particular data set. What is the meaning of an embedding? It means I'm not just putting the data directly to the model. I am finding which items in my data set are similar to each other. That is very useful. I will tell you why. Okay, so in this case, I had you can see all of the ones over here. These are very similar to each other. The images of ones definitely are very similar to each other. Similarly, the images of zeros are very similar to each other. If we talk in terms of words, similar thing you can do with words as well. If I search, so there are 10,000 words in this particular diagram that you're seeing. If I search the term India and I look for the top 10 matches, you can see the closest words to India are Pakistan, China, Indian, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Mumbai, Afghanistan, and so on and so forth. But if I search the word car, the closest words are driver, cars, automobile, race, and it is all very tightly coupled to the word car. What it means is that there are special AI models which are actually able to understand not just the words, but which words are closer to each other. Okay, what it means is that if I give you these 6 words, apple, mango, strawberry, car, bus, and truck. Okay, I give you these 6 words, apple, mango, strawberry, car, bus, and truck. And I ask you to put these words, 3 of each, into 2 different baskets. What would your baskets look like? I've given you 6 words, apple, mango, strawberry, car, bus, and truck. What would your baskets look like? You can put it only in 2 baskets. Correct? It's like you have bifurcated it as fruits and vegetables because you know there is something similar in these words. Let us say I had asked you to write it on a piece of paper. Take a page for fruits, take a page for transport. Okay. And I randomly ask you to, from your list, give me one particular transport. You can very easily give it. There are only 3. If I had given you 1 million fruits and 1 million transportation, 1 million vehicles, it would be very slow process for you to find the exact one which I'm looking for. Okay. So it is very important to create such embeddings or create such vectors so that you can cluster your data set into such boxes. So whenever we need to retrieve relevant information from our data set, we can retrieve the required information and we don't have to go through the entire data set. Okay, if I had given you 1 million words, if I had given you 1 million words and they were just jumbled across, and I would ask you to look for fruits, and there are like 100 different types of items that are there, it will be you will have a very hard time in finding a fruit. But if you had basketed your words, you had clustered these words separately, and then if I would ask you to pick a word which is relevant to fruit from the data set, it will be much faster for you. So that is the concept of embedding. Now, I will show you very simple how you can create your own question answering pipeline using Haystack. Okay. Even if you have if you have not programmed with Python before and so on and so forth, that is fine. The syntax is really simple, and I will explain you as we move ahead. Okay. So to install Haystack, you can have your Python environment that you have. You can just run pip install Haystack. We will be using where are we retrieving this data from? We need a data set as well. So there is a platform called as Hugging Face, which gives us this library called as datasets. Okay, so we'll utilize that library and sentence transformers as well. So you need these 3 Python packages. All of these are Python packages you can install on your system. Okay. The first step is creating a document storage. If I'm retrieving data from somewhere, I have to put it also from somewhere, right? You have to put it, like if you're opening the tap to drink water, you will put it in a glass, right? So first of all, you have to get the glass. So you have to define your document storage. For that, okay, let me just zoom it in a little bit. Yeah. For that, to define the document storage where you will store your data from, where you will be retrieving, that is called as a document store. To run that, you will do from haystack.documentstores.in memory. What is the meaning of in memory? I'm storing it in my RAM. Okay, just in my memory itself. I will import in memory document store and I will define my in memory document store. What is the second step? I will load my data set. What is my data set? I have a data set which talks about the 7 wonders of the world. Okay. So I will do from datasets import load dataset. This is the name of the dataset. and from haystack import document, and I will put all of this data set into a document format. Okay. Now, as I said, in the third step, you have to create embeddings of this model. If there are 7 wonders of the world, which I'm talking about, okay, and I'm asking you question of, let's say, about Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is one of the 7 wonders of the world. Okay. You want to cluster your data in a way that these 7 wonders, the context about these 7 wonders are separately stored. So whenever I'm talking about Taj Mahal, you only focus on the Taj Mahal cluster. Whenever I'm talking about something else, you focus only on that particular cluster. So for that, I will create such an embedding, like just I showed you the diagrams. To do that particular thing in code, it's just a one-line thing. From haystack.components.embedders, import sentence transformers document embedder. In this document embedder, I have defined the model which I want to use, and I just start this particular embedder. Now what I will do is I will run this particular, I have initialized my embedder model. I will pass on the data and document which I had over here, and I will generate my embeddings. This is the stage which we are as of now, the diagrams, 3 diagrams I showed you for. We have generated embeddings of our data set. What is our data set about? It is about talking about different things about the 7 wonders of the world. To create our lag pipeline, we will need to define this text embedder. Okay. We will define sentence transformer text embedder from haystack components. We will initialize our retriever. So for RAG pipelines, you will need a retriever. You will need a text embedder as well. But it is also very simple. Haystack.components.retriever.inmemory, in-memory embedding retriever. And in this, you can pass on your document storage. And you can write a template prompt as well. Okay. You can initialize chat prompt builder from haystack.components.builders, and you can create a data class for that. So given the following information, answer the question. Whatever context we have and the question will give us the answer. And then we will create our prompt. Okay. Then we will create a chat generator, which is our OpenAI. Okay. And this is what the final pipeline will look like. Don't focus too much on the syntax and so on. You will be able to get it. Focus more on the concept, whatever things we are defining. So to define our RAG pipeline, the first component which I will add to my pipeline will be a text embedder. Okay, you saw that kind of graph which we had made. I want to bifurcate different topics on different clusters. That is the first thing. So I initialized my text embedder. The second thing which I will do is my retrieval part of it. So this is the RAG. Okay, retrieval part of it. I have initialized my retriever who will go through this entire data set and retrieve information from me. Then in augmentation, what I have done in this particular part, you can see it exactly. This is my input prompt, the question which I will be giving. This is the answer which is expected. Okay, in this input prompt, I have added the context which I have been telling you about. That input prompt plus your context which you have been retrieved is called as augmentation. So this is the second part, which is augmentation. And finally, you have the generation. For generation, you will need an LLM. So you added an LLM. Okay, just 4 components. Basic components are needed to get started with your RAG system. The first will be an embedding model, which can generate such embeddings of your data. Second will be the RAG pipeline. R stands for retrieval. So you have defined your retriever who will retrieve information from your data. Augmenter, which is basically, which will combine your input question with the retrieved information. And generator is your LLM. Now you can connect each of these with each other. So the text embedder, which will be connected to the retriever. Retrieval will be connected to the prompt builder. Prompt builder will be connected to the LLM. This is the exact diagram which we saw. Retriever being connected to augmenter, augmenter being connected to generator. That is what exactly is defined over here. Once you have done that, I can pass in a simple question. What does Rhodes statue look like? And it will be able to give us this answer. So for example, I have these couple of examples talking about 7 wonders of the world. So I can just ask it something like, where is Taj Mahal? Okay. And I can just run this particular thing. So what is happening in the backend? In the backend, it is actually retrieving relevant information about Taj Mahal, then passing it to this GPT API, which I have given it to with the relevant context and my question, where is Taj Mahal? Based on that, it will answer me Taj Mahal is located in Agra, India. Or we can do something like, where is Gardens of Babylon? Okay. So it will run, I believe to be located in ancient city of Babylon, near Hilla, province of Iraq. Okay. So what we have done, first of all, we have initialized a text embedder, okay, which will create certain embeddings for us, which will cluster our data set that we have. Then we will have a retriever, which will fetch relevant information based on our question which we have given. Then we have our augmenter, which we have defined, this relevant context will be put along with and concatenated with my input question. Finally, I have my generator LLM, which is generating the answer. Okay, so this is my input prompt and this is my generated answer. Okay, did you understand this example? I'm not talking about exact syntaxes, but were you able to follow through the idea that is there? That is more important. Type in yes in the chat. You've understood this particular example. It's a very, very simple example. Okay. It is little complex. Like the first time, if you're going through this the first time, it does feel a little complex, but with time it eases up out. Okay. Moving ahead. But what if, okay, I want to actually work with data, which is not just text based, but also maybe it can be image, it can be audio, or it can even be video as well. Okay, so that is where the term multimodal AI comes into picture. So as of now, we have been talking only about text data or words and so on and so forth. Okay, but generative AI or multimodal AI is about multimodal AI particularly is about an AI model which can not only understand one type of data, but multiple different types of data sets. Okay, for example, just a simple NLP model, natural language model, can only understand text. But there are models like if you go on ChatGPT, you upload an image and then ask questions based on that particular image. That particular model is understanding context from that image as well as your input question. Okay, so that becomes a multimodal model. So that can understand and work with different kinds of information together. It can work with text, images, audio, video, and a bunch of these together as well instead of just one type. Okay, so this is a unimodal flow in which there is one type of data. Okay, modal here means the type of data, like text is a type of modality, image is a type of modality, video is a type of modality, and so on. In a UD model flow, you will see there is an AI model which only understands one modality. This model only understands text. This model only understands image, gets some output. This model only understands video. This model only understands audio and so on. In a multimodal flow, one single model can understand multiple types of modalities. Like this can understand text, video, as well as audio. There can be different combinations as well. Like a model which understands only video and audio, a model which understands text and image, a model which understands text and audio, and so on and so forth. Okay, now let me show you some examples for this. Okay, what we will do is we have this particular picture. Okay, let's see, we have these two pictures. Okay, this is a picture of a cat. There are two remotes over here. These cats are sleeping. And then you have a second picture of two puppies. Okay, picture of a cat and picture of two puppies. These are the two pictures which we will be working with. What we can do is just a second. Okay. Yeah. So what you can do is you can import these libraries. Let me just activate ML. Just run this once, folks. Give me a moment. Yeah. So what this particular piece of code can do is it will take this particular image, which I have. Okay. It will take this particular image, which I have, and given whatever text, I will give it a piece of text and I will ask it to compare this piece of text with the image I'm giving. Let's say we have taken this example and I have given it two pieces of text. The first part of the text is a photo of a cat. Second part of the text is a photo of a dog. Okay. First part is a photo of a cat. Second part is a photo of a dog. And I have asked it to compare this particular image with these pieces of text. So this particular AI model called as Clip has an understanding of text as well as images. Okay. It has understanding of both. Then only it knows what does this mean and what does this mean. Okay, so based on this, it has to tell me. So it will print. I have just run this Python script and it tells me that probability of this being a photo of a cat is just 0.16%. Probability of this being a photo of a dog is 99.84%. Okay, let me show you how you can run such kind of models. So there is a library. First of all, when you are working with images, you need to have a library which can load these images for you. There is a library called as Pillow. again a Python-based library. From Pillow, you can import image. There is a very important Python library called as transformers, which you will need for this. Again, transformers is also by the company Hugging Face. From transformers, you will import clip, model, and processor. Okay, I am going to show you 3 different examples on multimodal AI, and you will see the first time it will seem a little tough, but you will see how the exact syntax, the exact same pattern is being followed across multiple things. So if you can understand this particular segment, this particular script, the next 2 scripts will become a lot more easier for you. Okay. So what have been done from transformers? We have imported the clip model and the clip processor. Okay. Why do I need a processor? As we all know, AI models or in general computers cannot just directly understand text. Okay, they need numbers in which they can understand these different things. So to convert whatever kind of data which we have to relevant numbers or relevant data type in which a model can understand, I need a processor. Okay, so I will need a processor and a model. I have defined my model. This is the model I will be using. It's called, you don't need to worry about exact names, but I'm using an OpenAI model as my model. And I have defined my processor, clip processor dot from pre-trained. From pre-trained means it's already a trained model. This is the name of the model which I have. Okay, so 2 things which I have defined. What is the model which will do this task of comparing the piece of text with image? That model is the OpenAI model, clip model dot from pre-trained. I have loaded it from. What will be the processor which is using? Clip processor dot from pre-trained, name of the processor. Okay, now I have the URLs of these images. This is the dog image, this is the cat image. Okay, to open that image means to convert that image into arrays. Is what I will do. Just you can do image.open, pass in the URL. Okay, I have defined my text, photo of a cat, photo of a dog. What I will do, I will take this text and process it. So I will pass it to my processor. I will also process my images that are there. You can let these 2 be as it is, but focus on these 2. Okay, so you have seen your text that is going over here. You have processed your text as well as images, and that model, clip model, is also capable of processing these 2 together. So if we run through our processor, we have our inputs. Now I can pass on these processed inputs to my model. Okay, the model I've passed on the inputs. What is my model? I've already defined it over here, clip model. Okay, so I pass these processed inputs to my model, and then I can extract outputs from my model. And I have printed the probabilities, the output which you saw over here. Okay, very simple implementation of a multimodal model. What I have done, I have used a Python library to load the image. And I have used a very important Python library called as transformers to load a model and its corresponding processor. I have loaded this AI model using clip model.from pretrained. I've loaded the processor from clip model.from pretrained. These are exact names of the models which I'm using. After I have done this, I've opened the image, defined my text. I've processed my inputs. I have 2 types of inputs over here. Type number 1 is a text input. Type number 2 is this image input that we have. Okay, I pass both of these to my processor. I get my output in my model, and I extract that particular output, and I get my result. Okay, is the syntax clear for you all in this case? Type in syntax in the chat. It's pretty simple, less than 50 lines of code. Okay, type in syntax in the chat if it is clear for you. I'll show you 2 more examples, and then it will be like 100% clear to you all. Okay, just focus on 2 things, folks, over there. Okay, we have from transformers, I've imported model and processor. Processor mein what am I passing? My input data that is there to process it and make it machine friendly. And secondly, I'm passing that processed input to my AI model and getting my outputs. Okay, let us say you can think that, okay, Shan, this particular model is fine. It can compare 2 different things. It can compare that this is I've given it a piece of text, the image of a cat. It can compare that this is an image of a cat or not and give me probabilities. What if I would have wanted to do something like this? Okay, instead of such comparisons, what if I could directly ask a model a question, something like this? How many remotes are there? And it will be able to answer that. Okay, this will be more interesting. How can we do that? Again, if you see the last example, things will start to make sense. To load that particular image, what am I using? From Pillow import image. Now I will, in the last time, I used an AI model called as Clip. I'm not going directly into the architectures and all. This is more of an applied kind of session. This time we are going to use a model called as Blip, which is specifically trained for this particular task. This particular task is called as question answering or QA. Okay, question answering task is like, for in this particular context, given an image, I will ask it a question based on that particular image, and it has to answer me. Okay, so from transformers, again, let me just open this in parallel as well. What did we do in the last case of clip? From transformers, import clip model and clip processor. In this case, again, syntax is exactly the same. From transformers, just the names change. Blip for conditional generation and blip processor. Then what did we do in case of clip? Define the model, define the processor. In this blip also will do the same. Define the model, this model name dot from pretrain, exact name of model. Processor name dot from pretrain, exact model name. Exactly the same thing that we are doing. Okay, then again, this remains this exactly the same. You have your URL, I've defined your prompt. I want to know how many remotes are there. Okay. Then what did we do? After we had defined all of this, we passed our data, which is image and text, into the processor, and these processed inputs were passed to the model. Even in this question answering system, what I will do is I will pass my data, which is images and text, to the processor, get my inputs, and I will pass these inputs to my model, and I will get my outputs, and I will print these outputs. So let us see what is the output which we get. To run this, I will just type in Python blip.py. Okay. So based on this particular image, this particular image, it has to tell me the number of remotes that are there in this particular image. So whenever you do it for the first time, it takes a while to load your checkpoints and all, and so on. Okay, folks, do you see similarity? Tell me this. Do you see similarity between the first use case and the second one? Type in similar in the chat. Do you see similarity in the syntax? Type in similar in the chat. You see, right? So whenever you are able to solve one particular part of thing, okay, you will be able to. Wow. For some reason, I ran out. Yeah. Okay. It is similar. We will get those PDF at the end of the full workshop.
Hello, Ishan. Hello. Ishan, I think so. Your system has stuck. Guys, are you able to hear me at least and see me? You're able to hear and see me, right? All right. We'll just wait for a few seconds. Do not worry. It might be some internet issues only. It will be back in a few minutes. All right. So let's just wait for a minute or two. It will come back. It's just an internet issue. I'll also just give him a call so that he's aware about it. All right. Nothing to worry. Till that time that I'm calling him, how is the session going? Guys, let me know in the chat box. How is the session going so far? Amazing. Very nice. Awesome. Guys, his laptop gave a little bit of issue. So that's why he's just joining back in 2 minutes. So the time I'll just also talk to you. So we can have a 2 minutes break also. If you guys want, you guys can go and have some tea, coffee, and take a 2 minutes break. But till that time, just want to talk to you that the session is not ended yet. We have a lot more to go on. He's going to be teaching you more. And post that, after he finishes, the session does not get over. Then I'll also come in. I'll also show you a few things. I'll also talk to you about a few things, something really, really interesting that even I have built. And I'll just give you a heads up what actually it is. Someone recently also had launched it. And with the help of their, distribution, they made over millions in just 2 to 3 days. And I made it without spending a single penny. I made it for 0 rupees, $0. And I'm going to show you how I did it as well. I'm going to show you what I've made. post that session. So just wanted to give you a disclaimer. And if you guys, okay, you guys want a break? Do you guys want a 2 minutes break till the time the mentor is joining back? Let me know in the chat box. Do you guys want a break? Okay, I think so. Ooh, some people kind of know what I'm talking about already. What I'm going to show. Okay, I think some of you guys went to my LinkedIn and saw what I'm talking about. Guys, I would really prefer if no one spams, first of all, uses any foul language about anyone or anything, or sends any links, because I've already kicked out over 4 or 5 people. If anyone does it again, I will kick you out. So do not do that. All right, let's take a quick 2 minutes break. If you want, I'll put in a timer. Okay, this is your break, guys. It's only 2 minutes that we are taking till the mentor joins in. All right. Then obviously, guys, the mentor will come and explain you and talk you about the code. I'm not going to be explaining the code. The mentor would. You don't need to leave the call. Stay on the call. It's completely fine. Do not leave the call. We'll be here itself. And by chance, if you do end up leaving, guys, you can just join in back with the same link. All right. I'm going to put a quick timer of 2 minutes. Just give me 1 second. All right, here we go. I'm going to play some music.
I walked these halls 1,000 times, felt the silence, read the signs, hiding shadows, biting tongues. I thought I'd change, I'd fit, I was used to it. I tried to fit inside your world, bent myself but broke instead. Every whisper, every lie kept me hanging in this rope. Now I know what I feel, the way I feel. Why did I stay in the games you played? But now I'm gone, I see I don't belong, I just stayed too long. I played along, felt the weight of staying strong. Every promise wore me thin, still I stayed and let you in. I tried to fit inside your world, bent myself but broke instead. Every whisper, every lie kept me hanging in this rope. Now I know what I feel, the way I feel. Why did I stay in the games you played? But now I'm gone, I see I don't belong, I just stayed too long. I just stayed too long. I see it now, it's crystal clear. I was just a ghost to you. No more waiting, no more pain. I'm not afraid to walk away, I just stayed too long.
All right, guys. Are we back from the break? I can see a lot of questions that are coming in the chat, guys. I would say park your questions towards the end. We'll also do a Q&A. Anything? Okay, for anyone who, for some, Shilaj, I think so you're talking about adding you to the group. I'll add you. Don't worry. I have copied your number. I'll add you to the group as well because of the WhatsApp number that you faced. Are we guys back? Let me know in the chat box. Okay, guys, well, you're asking a lot of questions about code and snippets and everything. Like I mentioned, towards the end, I will also do an announcement about a few bonuses. I'm going to do it towards the end. Also, I'm going to do it tomorrow as well. So you have to wait for these announcements. All right, these are super important. These are bonuses that I have planned for you folks. But I'm not going to announce it now. I'll announce it in the towards the end as well when I'll be coming back to teach you. Till the time, Ishan, are we ready to go? Are we set up?
Yeah, just give me 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes.
All right.
Yeah, till then you can take up a couple of questions if that's required.
Sure.
My slide.
Chetan, you're not able to see any messages because you have kept it on host and co-host because there was a lot of spamming. We are over 4,000 people on the call. So a lot of messages would come simultaneously. That's why I had kept it on host and co-host without for not spamming. Okay, what all questions are there? Can you help me understand why Perplexity is able to do the report thing and Chat GPT can't? Oh.
Yeah, you have a deep research option in ChatGPT as well as in Gemini, where you can do the same thing. The difference lies in the backend that they're using. Okay, so they have their different ways in which they're retrieving context and so on and so forth, which basically makes all the difference.
Satish, like I've said in the start itself, no, the recordings are not provided, and no, it's not getting actually recorded up. So why am I looking up, guys? I'm working with multiple screen. That's why I'm looking up. We will share a few references and we will share a few resources. I think so. We already, Ishan, have we told them about that, or I've just spoiled my
Yeah.
bonus?
we will get you folks. I think I have mentioned that to them as well. That
You will get a few
be
resources.
yes, you will get your resources PDF. But
Samir, please do not spam the chat. I know this is
only
not
at
a Rolex that I'm wearing. I wish I was wearing a Rolex, but no, this is Scuderia Ferrari. No. All right. Okay. There's a lot of chat coming in, guys. I would really ask you to take your questions. We'll ask towards the end. We'll share the notes. A lot of questions are coming for notes, codes, all of those things. We will share that. Let me know, Ishan, whenever we are ready to go as well.
Yeah, almost just a minute.
That's completely okay, Kashish. That's not to worry. Please, but do join in tomorrow as well. If by chance, due to reasons you have to leave early, tomorrow do join on time. We'll start at 10 a.m. sharp. Yes, you will get certificates. What time the session would end? It's around 9, I would say, maybe 10:30. 10:30, 10:45. Like I said, even I want to show you and teach you a few things. So I'll take maybe 15-20 minutes of your time after Ishan is done, and then towards the end we'll have a combined Q&A session as well. Yes, obviously the resources and codes and all of those details about what Ishan is showing. Obviously, I would not share any random codes with you. So people were asking that.
Yeah, I think we're good to go. You can start.
Guys, you'll get the certificates. Do not worry. I'll explain everything later on towards the end. Ishan, we should go ahead.
We can start. Yes.
All right. Awesome. Over to you, Ishan.
Yeah. So the last example that we saw, now you're already clear with this fact that how you can use this. Basically, you can use a clip model and you can use a blip model as well. Okay. If you want to go even a step further and you want to be able to, instead of just basic asking questions, do you think it is possible that for this particular image, I can detect where this particular remote is, where this particular cat is, to a precision where this particular tail is? Is that something I can do with a multimodal model? Can you tell me yes or no in the chat? Also, Karthik, can you give me chat permissions? Yeah. What do you think, folks? Okay. So what I will do is in this next stage, in this particular next stage, we'll show a similar kind of model. From transformers, you can import, there's a model, object detection multimodal model called as OWL VIT. Again, the exact same format which we have been following till now. Load the model and the processor, define both of these, and pass the inputs to the processor, pass that inputs to the particular model. We have loaded our processor, OWL VIT processor. We have loaded our model. Okay, we have defined the same image which we have been using, this particular image. I have passed it. I have certain pieces of text. These are the objects, or these are the pieces of text which I want to be able to search from that particular image. So in this particular given image, I want to search for a photo of a cat, a photo of a dog, Ideally, it should not generate anything like that. Remote control and cat tail as well. Okay, so you can process these images. As I said, images and text. First of all, they go into your processor. Once you have your images processed, you can pass it to your model. You get your outputs, and you can retrieve those results. Once you do all of this and you run the script, you will be getting this kind of an output. Takes a second to load. Yeah. If I zoom it in a little, you can see. Let me show you first the what I had written in my text. Okay. What all do I have? What am I looking for? Photo of a cat, photo of a dog, remote control, and cat tail. What all has it found? Okay. Photo of a cat. It has created a very detailed bounding box for me. Again, a photo of a cat. The font is a little small. I'll just read it out for you all. Photo of a cat. Again, a different bounding box. Photos of remotes as well. Okay, so here is a remote. Here is the second remote. Then photo of a cat tail. If you see over here, if I can take you through over here, can we find the cat tail? Yeah. So this is written as a cat tail. Okay. So that is also something which a multimodal AI model is capable of doing. By now, I am sure this syntax would have become very clear to all of you. We are doing the exact same thing that we want. We started with a very simple use case using the clip model, where given a piece of text, I can compare it to an image and whether this is related or not. Then we went to the blip model. We created our question answering system, which can answer questions sent in text format given any image. That is also a multimodal model. And finally, we also did object detection with a multimodal model, where I have given it what objects I want to detect in a particular image. It took that image, understood what objects I want, and gave me a result. Okay, are these examples clear to you or not? Type in clear in the chat. Type in clear in the chat. Type in clear in the chat, folks. Good. Moving on to the next section. Now, we can be talking about too many of these models, right? A lot of these models that are there. But how do you actually compare these different models with each other? There are like so many different models out there. How do you actually compare these models with each other? For this, I will give you a very, very nice resource. Okay, for this, I'll give you a really, really nice resource. Yeah. It is this website called as artificialanalysis.ai. Let me put this in the chat as well. Okay, it's called as artificialanalysis.ai. What it can do, let's say I want to look for models which are very good into text to image. Given a piece of text, whatever I want, let's say generate an image of a landscape or something like that, it can create an image from that. Okay, so I can go to text to image. First of all, I can get the quality. Okay, whenever you are generating images using an AI model, you would want the quality to be really, really high. So this ELO rating actually gives you the quality. So you can compare different models over here. Seed Dream 3.0 has the highest quality, then GPT-4o, then Google's image and model, then Flux Context, and so on and so forth. But does this mean that I should just pick the best quality model and move ahead? You can't always do that, because the generation time of that image also takes into the picture, right? Like GPT-4o by OpenAI, if you have gone on ChatGPT and tried to generate a model using the GPT-4o, it has the highest generation time of 56 seconds to generate one image, as compared to most of the others, which just take 5 to 10 seconds. That is something which you also consider. If you want to look at the pricing per 1,000 image generations, again, OpenAI's GPT-4o is one of the costliest one there. Here it costs $167 to generate 1,000 images in OpenAI, as compared to something like the Gemini 2.0, just takes $39. Okay, you can have multiple comparisons as well. Like, what does the quality versus price look like for something? Okay, so quality, you would want something which has a decent quality but cheaper. You can go with something like Flux. You want super high quality and cost does not matter to you. You can go directly with GPT-4o. Again, you can compare quality with generation time versus price, and you can do this across any types of models. So whenever you are going over here, speech image audio, you can do this text to image. You want to compare speech to image models. You want to compare text to speech models, speech to speech models, video generations models. All of these benchmarks are actually present over here. Okay, so you can utilize this particular website to compare different models and be able to figure out which is that one particular model that you want to use in your systems. Okay. Now, we are going to talk about AI agents. How many of you are actually excited about AI agents, folks? Type in I am excited in the chat. Type in I am excited in the chat. I am excited in the chat if you are excited about learning about AI agents. Okay. What we will be doing today is I will give you a brief overview of what is an AI agent. Okay. And I will show you a couple of examples of AI agents. We'll do some good live demos. And after that, the code part of it is what we will cover in detail tomorrow. So tomorrow, what we will cover, the types of AI agents, the code for entire AI agents. So tomorrow we will be going full on. I will show you the kind of agents that we will build as well. And I will be diving deep a lot into AI assisted coding. So today, this is the last section for my deck. Then Karthik also has something very interesting to show to you all. Okay, so in this particular last piece of AI agents, I will show you what are AI agents. Are they just a fab, or do they actually mean something? Okay, so let's move on. Imagine a world, okay, where like intelligent systems aren't just following instructions, but they can think, they can learn, and they can act autonomously really well. For years, automation has already been there. The term automation hasn't just come with the term AI. AI automation has been getting popular the last couple of years, but automation has already been there to help different businesses. Okay, for example, I'm sure all of you have already experienced this, that you want to call a customer service, be it of an airline, IRCTC, some kind of, you can say, bank or law, any of this like thing. Let's say you want to call HDFC Bank and you want to get some details about your credit card. This is what the flow will look like. You first of all find that customer care number, you call it, it will start asking, it will first of all give you some advertisement, then talk about which language do you want to choose, press 1, 2, or 3. Let's say you pressed English, then it will ask it information on your credit card, press 1, information on a debit card, press 2, and so on. Okay, let's say I pressed once again. Then it will ask it to enter details, then it will ask you, and it will take you through this process like at least 10 times. It takes you 3 to 4 minutes at least of pressing these different buttons so that you can finally get to a point where you can talk to a customer agent or get your answer. Do you feel this kind of a workflow is irritating or not? Type in irritating in the chat. What do you folks think? Do you all feel? Type in irritating in the chat. This is also a form of automation. This is actually a form of automation where the user is being directed to whatever information he wants. That is automation, right? This is also, but it is a very irritating automation. Okay, such kind of automations have been there. Okay, in the field of AI for a very in the field of businesses in a very long time. But how is changing with respect to AI today? Okay, how is it changing with respect to AI today? Is that instead of letting the user select that 1, 2, 3, 4, why don't I let my AI agent handle it? So what I can do on top of the conversation, I can put an AI agent. Okay, I will call. Okay, let's say I have called HDFC and I have explained my query. First of all, given I am explaining it to you in English, it should automatically understand that this guy wants to communicate in English. It should not ask me that. Given whatever is my query, if it is a very basic query about my credit card, the agent can directly fetch that information and give it to me based on I have authenticated and all of that. But it is if it is a complex query, let's say I have lost my credit card and I want to disable all transactions and all, that's a complex query. For that, it will actually connect me directly to a customer service agent, like a human agent. Okay, so instead of me having to press all those 1, 2, 3, 4 and figuring out where I want to go, this agent automates that entire pipeline for me. It's a simple thing, it will get me the information. If it's a more complex thing, it will direct me to a human agent. Okay, does this workflow seem a lot more useful for you or not? Type in useful in the chat if you feel this is a lot more useful. And I believe it would have made our lives really easier. Okay, if we could have it this way. So that's the power of like AI agents. AI agents are entities which can perceive, decide, and execute tasks without any human intervention. Okay. Now, unlike any traditional programming, they don't just follow pre-programmed rules. They can learn, they can adapt, as well as make complex decisions in real life. Okay. But how many of you still think agents are a hype? Type in hype or no hype in the chat, folks. How many of you think that agents are a hype? Type in hype or no hype in the chat. Okay. I see about 40% of you. saying that it's a hype? Okay, let's say, let me show you some examples. Okay. This is a real job posting about hiring an AI agent. Okay. Please apply only if you are an AI agent or if you have created an AI agent that can fill this job. Like Firecrawl example created, AI agents only, salary is 10,000 US dollars to 15,000 US dollars. Apply about the role. Please apply only if you are an AI agent. Folks, AI agents are already being hired. It's not just something which is out there in the world or like a vague concept, something very concrete which has become today. Average billboards in San Francisco today look like this, like stop hiring humans, hire our AI agent, and so on. But AI agents are not just which can be used for writing customer success queries and finding all of these things, or just doing some basic research. AI agents have really advanced and they have significant applications now. For example, this particular AI agent by Ontology, okay, it actually published a research paper in one of the most prestigious AI conferences out there in the world called the ACL 2025. Okay, and it wasn't just any other paper. Okay, it did all of the research, it wrote down the entire paper, and it was amongst the top 8.2% of all submissions, folks. To one of the top AI conferences in the world, an AI agent wrote a research paper which was amongst top 8.2% amongst all. So it's not like AI agents are just something very basic, they can't do very basic tasks and so on. They can actually do a lot of complex tasks as well. Okay. Then there are a number of coding agents as well. For example, there's this tool called as Augment Code that you can use. Then there are tools like Devin. Let me show you. One second. Okay. So then there are software engineering agents. Devin is also being hired as an AI agent across multiple different companies. So this is the website which you can try out, the use cases. So what you can do is you can have Devin in your Slack and you can just text Devin that these are the changes which are needed and it will do that for you. Okay. So these are like software engineers are being hired as AI agents. Now, a lot of you might have this question that, but Ishan, are these agents actually that accurate? Okay. Are these agents actually that powerful or that accurate that people can hire them as software engineers and so on and so forth? I have another question for you all. So there is a benchmark which was created called as the SWE bench, which had a number of engineer-specific problems, which were data set created for AI agents to evaluate AI agents. And given the percentage of problems which this AI agent can solve, engineering problems, all of them were engineering problems, AI agent can solve, we can give it a certain percentage of accuracy. November 2023, when AI agents were just coming up, okay, November 2023, what do you think were the percentage of issues that an AI agent was able to solve? Quickly tell me in the chat. November 2023, what do you think was the percentage of problems an AI agent was able to solve? 10%, 20%, 0%, 93%. Such polarizing numbers I'm finding here. Someone is like 99%, someone is like 0%. Okay. Okay. 25%, 10%, 50%, 60%. Very less. The actual number was just 1.9%. November 2023, AI agents, software engineering agents were only able to solve 1.9% of the problems. Do you know what is that percentage today? Anyone has any idea? What is that percentage today? What is the percentage of problems in the SW bench AI agents are able to solve? Let me show you. So you can go to this website called as swbench.com. Here you can find multiple different benchmarks, and these are the verified benchmarks. 75% is the number that we have today. Multiple different agents are there. 74%, 70%, 69%, 65%, 58%. This is the accuracy that we have already reached. If you think, Ishan, this is not still 100%, this is not above 90%, think of it in this case. If I give you 100 issues to solve from a variety of software engineering problems, will you yourself be able to solve those 100? When you only start comparing these AI agents to actual humans, you will be able to figure that out, that these numbers are really good. That is why companies are actually hiring them as full-time engineers. This is the software engineering benchmark that we have. So Anthropic's models, Opus 4, Sonnet 4 already are reaching close to 80% as well with their reasoning models. OpenAI Codex O3 and all were at 69%, 72%. There is the latest model launched by OpenAI called GPT-5. With thinking, it is already reaching about 75%. Okay. So most of these models out there in the world are already doing like 75 to 80%. Now, is this the end game for human jobs? Tell me yes or no in the chat, folks. Is this the end game for human jobs? What do you think? Yes? No? Okay. Here is what I think. I don't think AI agents are there just to take jobs, but they're actually creating a bunch of these new opportunities at the same time. And to be honest, I feel the impact of AI agents you won't just see in terms of layoffs. We are already seeing like 10,000, 20,000 people being laid off because of AI coming into the picture. It's not just about layoffs happening, it's also about the number of roles reducing for the same tasks, but also number of roles are opening at different kinds of tasks, like for creating agents, for building such services and all. So new opportunities are definitely coming up. This is a very big technology shift that all of us are here as of now. To give you some more perspective about AI agents, how many of you are aware of the Marvel ecosystem? Type in Marvel in the chat. Type in Marvel in the chat. How many of you are aware of the Marvel ecosystem? Okay. Now, in the Marvel ecosystem, like I can just give you a brief. There was a superhero called as Tony Stark, or also identified as Iron Man. Iron Man had this particular AI agent with him called as Jarvis. What Jarvis could do is he could do from something as simple as make a phone call for Tony to do something as complex as fly a suit for him. So these suits can fly apparently. So that is an example of a semi-autonomous agent, okay, a partially autonomous agent that you can say. Partially autonomous agents actually work hand in hand with humans, and whatever instructions are given, that is, they perform. But similarly, there was a villain in that movie as well, which is called as Ultron. That was a fully autonomous agent. It was not being controlled by any human or anything. It was evolving on its own. It was performing all the actions on its own, and was an example of a fully autonomous system. That's the difference of a partially autonomous system, works hand in hand with humans. The major control remains on the human side. Fully autonomous systems work completely on their own. Okay. And folks, now here is what is happening. AI agents are automating tasks, but they still need certain kind of human oversight. Real winners aren't the ones who are like trying to fight with AI and try to keep, justifying that this is just a hoax or something like that. It is a revolutionary technology that is we are very lucky kind of to be witnessing this. And companies are actually prioritizing professionals who can leverage AI in these conventional roles. Now, let me show you a couple of very interesting demos. Okay. Give me a second. Okay. So there's this platform called as Vapi. How many of you have heard of Vapi? Yes or no in the chat? Yes or no in the chat? Okay. I'm pausing the screen share for a moment to put my credentials. Okay. Cool. So Vapi is actually an AI agent, agentic system, voice AI agent, which we at Outskill use. And most of our sales and outreach calls have been automated using the Vapi. Very high chance that after the end of this session, the entire mastermind will actually be getting a call from an AI agent. So what is Vapi? It is an AI agent which you can configure. It can make calls for you and receive calls from you as well. Okay. So for example, we have created a bunch of different assistants for us over here. For example, the current session that is going on, AI for Engineers agent, I have created an AI agent for myself. I have written, you are Neha, part of the Outskill team, which is a high trust Gen AI engineers community. You are calling a learner who recently attended a session named AI for Engineers session by Ishan Datta. Speak in a friendly, thoughtful, founder-like tone. Goal is to collect all of that information and get the rating. What I can do, I can have this AI agent call me right now, live here on the call, and show you the kind of questions it asks me. So what I can do, I can go on phone numbers. I hope my phone number is not on display over here. Yeah, it isn't. I can select a test agent which I have. And here I can put in my number. Again, pausing screen share for a moment. Once I had shared this and people actually started calling me in between the session. Okay. I will select an assistant. Okay. Okay, you can see my phone over here. Yeah. Let me actually just stop screen sharing for a moment. Okay. Folks, you can see my screen. Phone. You can see my phone. Yes. I'm just initiating a call. We'll see a call coming from an international number in any second now. Okay. You can see this particular call. Let me pick it. Hello. Yeah. There is some issue. You're not able to hear the agent. Just a minute, folks. Just a minute. Wait, let me make another call. I'm creating another call. Yeah, again, it's coming. Hello. There's some issue. Not able to hear. Okay, let me change my audio source. 1 second.
Hello.
Hello.
This is Neha from the Outskill team. Am I speaking to the learner who recently attended the AI for Engineers session by Ishan Gupta?
Yes.
Great. I wanted to follow up and hear your thoughts on the session. How did you find it overall?
It was a very good session. I learned a bunch of different things along with the code.
That's wonderful to hear. On a scale from 1 to 5, how would you rate the session?
I would rate it a 5.
So 5, that's excellent to hear. Can you share one thing you particularly loved about the session?
I liked the number of examples and applications which were talked about.
That's a great point. And Ishan really packed the session with real world use cases. Thanks so much for sharing that. We really appreciate your time, and your feedback genuinely helps shape how Outskill grows. Hope to see you in more sessions soon.
Yeah, thank you. That's it, folks. That's how. The last weekend we did the session with 50,000 people live here. Today we have 5,000. Last weekend we did it with 50,000 people. And we made a call to each and every learner. Each and every learner. It sounds very real. You know, if it, I don't think it was that clear on Zoom, but there are actually sounds of like someone typing and all, and it's very, very real. It's not like generated AI generated kind of. It's very, very real. You will feel like you're actually getting call from some call center and all. It's actually really, really clear. And it's an amazing agent. It's an amazing agent. Okay. This is something which we use over here in Outskill. I have another very interesting agent to show you all. Okay. Just sharing my screen. Yeah. So there's another agent that we use. This is called as Emergent. How many of you have heard of Emergent? Yes or no in the chat? Some of you have heard of Emergent, some of you have not heard. Okay. So whenever you're talking about coding or building products with AI, right,
the problem which comes up is that, okay, there are a lot of products which can only generate good front end. There are a lot of products which can only generate back end. There are very few who can combine both of these and give you an end-to-end product without much of human intervention. Okay, so Emergent is one of those products. They actually did over 10 million a month, I believe, in like 2 months or something. Okay, so it has got crazy reach and it's a really, really good product. One of the things which separates Emergent from other things or other products out there is the accuracy that it has. Okay, so it's very simple. Again, it's like a ChatGPT interface. It will write your entire backend, it will write your entire front end and connect it all together and give you an end application as well. So if I just write it like something very simple, build an AI note taker app. I can just send it to it. It will initialize an environment on the cloud. Okay, it will install all of the necessary packages and all to build our backend and front end separately, and then it will start its agent. Okay, so it is processing. This is the agent. It's actually starting up and running. So agent is asking us a couple of questions that I want to understand. Okay, what kind of features would you like? Smart summarization, auto tagging. What are the input methods? Like just text? Do you want voice as well? Text and voice. LLM provider, like which LLM do you want to use? Okay, so I can answer it given like, okay, I want a note summarizer. Inputs can be only text, and LLM I will put it OpenAI. And after writing this particular message, let's say for AI features, I want text summarization. Okay, in this case, note input, I will select text. And in the third, I will ask it to use OpenAI, let's say GPT-5, and I will have to pass it the API key. I'm not pasting it over here. I will just send it to Emergent. And this is what I hope my API key is not visible. Yeah, just give me a second, folks. I will pause and put the API key. Let me see. How many of you have tried Emergent or anything like how many of you have used coding assistants in general? Which coding assistant have you used if you have? I'm putting it to host and panelists only. I can see your responses, folks. I can see your responses. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm showing you an application which I've already built using the exact same prompt. I don't want to put my API key over here. Okay. So in the last case, you saw I put all of these inputs. What it will do, it has my API key now. It will build the AI app for me. Okay. What it will start with, it has started with the backend. Okay. It has started with the backend. If I expand this, you can see the code that it is also writing. So it has created certain environment variables. It will create certain requirements files that are there. Okay. It will create all of the backend app.js, server.py, app.js, CSS files. Okay. All of this is created directly by the agent. There is no manual intervention by me. Okay. It's built a comprehensive app. What you can do after this is the final thing, which I will do a couple of minutes. You can click on preview over here. Once you click on preview, such an interface will load up. Okay. Such an I'm just reloading it again. What I can do, I can search notes over here and create a new note. Let us say Gen AI Mastermind. Okay, let's say I was studying in this Gen AI Mastermind and I want to take notes on AI agents. Okay. Agents have access to tools and memory. And you can like write any of these notes. You can classify it as different work, personal, ideas, human, finance. Let me put it into education and create a note. Okay. So all my notes can be saved over here. I will be able to see summaries of different notes as well. And I can just directly search for these notes as well. Okay. So in minutes, you can create such a different such an application and where you can create your entire front end. This was generated completely by Emergent. You can create the backend by Emergent as well. Karthik, can you put the Emergent link in the chat as well so that we can try out? Okay, yeah. So, well, folks, you can try out Emergent using this link. And you should definitely come back to us tomorrow probably and tell us what are the kind of apps that you thought you can build. Okay. And this was about Emergent. Now, what are we going to look for tomorrow? Tomorrow will be a code focused session on completely on code. The platform, the framework which we have chosen to create AI agents is called as Crew AI. There are multiple different frameworks which you can use, like OpenAI SDK, LangChain is there, LangGraph is there, DSPy is there, and so on and so forth. The reason we have stuck with Crew AI is that the syntax is really, really simple. Okay, in Crew AI, if you have to create an agent, you can just do from Crew AI import agent. If you have to define a tool, you can just do Crew AI tools import tool. Okay, and so on. So that is something which you can do. Let me quickly show you actually the different agents and their capabilities that we are going to look for tomorrow. We will start with a very basic agent. Okay, we will start with a very, very simple agent, and which will be able to do this. That given a particular sentence, okay, given a particular sentence, look at this sentence very carefully. Okay. After a long day at office, I was going back home in the late evening. Then I met my friend on the way to the office. Okay. After a long day at office, I was going back home late in the evening. Then I met my friend on the way to the office. Okay. There is certain kind of conflict in this particular line. So this agent, very simple agent without any tools, it will be able to identify whether there are conflicts or not. Then what we will teach you how you can use tools with agents. Okay, so now you heard about doing web search and all, how you can do all of that, and you will create a script generator agent. This agent is capable of performing web search automatically, getting relevant context out of it, and creating a story out of it. Because this is like Shakespeare like of story. This is a second level which we'll see. In this level, we are going to use tools which are defined within the framework. And finally, we will create a very detailed investment advisor. Okay, this investment advisor, stock trader, will have 4 agents in parallel. Okay, so 4 agents will be running. Some agents will have no tools, some agents will have 2-3 different tools. Some tools will be defined in the framework, some tools we will define, like custom tooling we will do, and so on and so forth. We'll talk about agents in series, sequential agents, parallel agents, how all of that comes into picture, and you will be able to create a system which can give you recommendations on stock. Again, folks, this is a disclaimer. This is for educational purposes only. Don't just pick this code and start trading. Like in this, I read about Reliance. I passed it this particular stock. It gave me a recommendation of buy and key reasons. So if this particular agent can fetch the relevant balance sheets, news, different parameters, EBITDA, P&E ratio, and all of that, make sense of that, and have an analyst sit over there, make sense of all of that, fetch the latest and current stock price as well, put all of that together and give me a recommendation. Like this particular agent is telling me that I should buy the Reliance stock. Why should I buy it? It has had consistent revenue. It will give me exact numbers, 9.65 trillion and so on and so forth. Okay. Second is valuation and stock performance. It has an attractive entry point. Current stock price is 1387. This is the high. This is the low. Strategic positioning, where it is, the risk factors that are there, and so on. Okay. So it's something which you will be able to learn. And finally, you will go through a job search agent as well, wherein given a particular whatever job you have, and along with your resume, it will ask you and give you suggestions that this is how you should mold your resume, or these are the things or skills which you should be able to understand. Okay, syntax is pretty straightforward. So I'm definitely sure we have taken this for non-coders as well, and even they could understand the syntax. So if you have any kind of programming experience, this will be very easy for you. This is just the first half of tomorrow's session. Second half, we are going to go crazy, because what we are going to learn about is 2 things. First will be cursor. Okay. And the second will be Claude Code. I know a lot of you would be aware of Claude. Claude.ai, you have used that particular interface, but Claude Code is something which I don't think a lot of you have actually used. Let me just open the docs. Okay. So Cursor is an coding editor, which is actually a fork of VS Code. So I think a lot of you would have used VS Code. How many of you here have used VS Code? Type in yes or no in the chat. How many of you have used VS Code? I believe all of them. Like, it's kind of starting point for all of us. Right. So VS Code is actually an open source software. So you can just type in something like VS Code GitHub. This is the entire code base of VS Code. It's just open up there, and there are like thousands of forks out of it. Cursor is actually also one of the forks of VS Code itself. Okay, and Cursor is also one of the forks. We are going to go through in detail, and I will show you a lot of different tips and tricks is how I utilize a tool like Cursor to its maximum potential. I know even if you are using Cursor today, let's say even if you are a Cursor user, the most amount of things that you would be doing is open up the chat window, ask it to make certain changes for you, which is fine. But there are a lot of interesting things like how you can define rules, memories, how do you index your code bases, how do you search for relevant context and get your correct answers, and so on and so forth. There are a lot of different tools also Cursor, which Cursor offers. We're going to talk about a lot of them in detail. Then we will cover Claude Code, which is Anthropic's own. I won't say it's more like a terminal tool. Okay, Cursor is a coding IT. Claude is more like a terminal tool. It does not have an IDE of itself, which you can utilize. And if I show you the docs for this, yeah. So we'll go through a lot of different workflows, okay, in this, which are there. Like how do you understand new code bases using Claude Code? How do you make changes? How do you refactor these changes? And so on. And we will also talk about deployment using Claude Code as well. So we're going to go in a lot of depth. I am sure, like this is something I say with a lot of surety, is that is that there is no Cursor tutorial on the internet as of now, which even comes close to the 1 hour that we are going to see tomorrow. That's something which I guarantee. We are going to cover, we are not going to cover MCPs, that will be covered in the last session and tomorrow. But the session which I have, which covers the agents, we will be talking about purely code-based session. We will talk creating multiple agents of our own. Then we will get into AI-assisted coding. I will show you such good features in such depth of Cursor that you will be like, oh my God, this also existed. I did not know about it. Okay. And after that, we will dive into Claude Code. I will also talk about how I use both of them in my workflows. For what things I use Cursor. I have memberships for Cursor as well as Claude Code. I'll also explain my utilities and all. Like I'm a pro user for both of them. And yeah, that's it. Karthik has a couple of things to say and show you. So over to you, Karthik. And also, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot my introduction. I will just take 2 minutes, folks. I was so much into Kaya Karthik is laughing. I was so much into the content and all that I forgot to introduce myself. I usually keep it for the end because I think it's good for everyone's time that I just put it for the end. My name is Shandatta again. Coming back. Since my college, I have been very active across AI hackathons across the world. So my team scored like national rank 12 amongst 10,000 plus competitors in the Amazon ML Challenge. I have medals on Kaggle, Machine Hack, and so on. These are the previous companies I have worked for. I've worked at NVIDIA as a deep learning intern. I've done some research at IIT Kanpur. A couple of different companies. So BlanchDB, Weights and Biases, Lightning AI, all out. These companies are based out of San Francisco. I have done remote work, contract-based work with all of them and all. And did that for a year, worked on a year for in a metaverse company, then joined this very interesting startup called as Rephrase AI. Yeah, joined this very interesting startup called as Rephrase AI. And if you just go on YouTube and search for this particular ad, SRK Cadbury ad, it's a very interesting use case of Gen AI that we have. And what we could do is I could just record a couple of minutes of video of yours and I could clone your lips as well as your audio. Okay, so basically I could create, you would see a lot of these creators on Instagram, like even Web of Sisinti or Varun Mai, all of their AI generator avatars are there on Instagram. That is something that tech we had like 4 years ago. That's when Gen AI wasn't even popular. That is when we were working about it. The quality that we had was so good that we ended up becoming the first company in India to be acquired by Adobe. So Rephrase AI was actually the first startup in general to be acquired by Adobe. Since then, November 2023, I have been in Adobe. I spent a lot of time in the US as well. The last year, I even ended up meeting Andre Karpathy. Some of you might know him. If you don't, you should definitely know him if you are getting into AI. He is one of the founding members of OpenAI and previous director of AI at Tesla. Very interesting person. This is one of the hackathons I attended in San Francisco. It's a different story how I was able to get there. And yeah, if you want to reach out to me, I will just get my social links. I will just put it in the chat. And you can follow me. Just a second. Everyone.
Till the time Ishan is putting in the links, guys, please do answer the poll. And by the way, I think so, Ishan, I have not told you this also. I thought I'll let you know on the call itself.
Yeah.
Ad of Shah Rukh Khan that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I have done case studies on it. I have written answers on it. And
Oh,
while I was doing my post graduation.
okay.
So I have taken that as a use case a lot of times. So that's thanks to you. I think you did not know that. But
Yeah.
I know now. I knew a lot of things during Diwali. This was, if I'm not wrong. And
Yeah, it was.
a lot of local stores.
We
they can
did it
use.
with I think we have covered all of Bollywood. I've made clones of all of Bollywood. I think we did Hrithik Roshan, Anushka Sharma, all of them, the entire Indian cricket team.
Yeah.
Even I even have clones of Ankur Warikoo. For some reason, he was one of our angel investors as well. So yeah.
All right. Awesome. So Ishan, I think so you can take a quick breather. You can have some water.
Yes.
And we'll have you back in the next maybe 15-20 minutes for the Q&A. Before that, guys, I want to show you guys something as well, like I told you. And after that, I'll also announce a few bonuses. So you can wait for that. Okay, so firstly, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to show you about. You guys have seen Emergent and all those things. I can see a lot of you guys have used Lovable, Bolt also, Cursor. I could see that in the chat box. Before I get into any of these things, guys, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat, how was the session? How was this mind-blowing 3 hours of the session? Guys, we'll get into the questions. I just want to understand how was the session from you folks. In-depth, fantastic. All right, amazing, good. All right, guys, let me just tell you, this was a trailer. Tomorrow we have something great coming, which I has already told you. So do come tomorrow at 10 a.m. sharp and I'll see you then. But before that, yeah. So a lot of you folks have seen Bold, Lovable, and you've also seen Emergent. So I want to show you something very interesting. Okay, I'll show you something very basic first and then I'll build on it. All right, sounds about okay? Let me know if it's okay. I'll show very basic and then I'll build upon it. All right? Okay. Starting with the easiest thing that can be done, that I think so a lot of us have already used it, is creating a portfolio. All right? I'm going to share you a simple portfolio is what I have made. 1 second. Yeah. Guys can see my screen? Is my screen visible? Guys, let me know in the chat box. Yes? All right. Awesome. So this is a very simple portfolio that I've made, okay, using Bolt. But by the way, all of this is all about me. So yes, guys, I have also done a lot of different things. I'm not just a techie. I have also done MBA. I'm also from management side. That is why I understand business sides also. So when I'm solving use cases, it's from a business side, but working as a techie. So my way of working is completely different. And that is something that's really amazing and has been working for me. So its entire portfolio, everything works on this as well. Like if you click on email, it actually pops up the email as well. Okay, no, I don't want to send myself email. I'm going to hide my phone number so that I don't want anyone to give me random calls at times. This is my LinkedIn. If you guys want, you can connect with me as well. I'm just sharing in the chat box. So this is something that I have built. Now, I'm going to tell you how I've built it. All right. What do you guys think? How would I have built it? Simple, just go to Bolt, write about, give my LinkedIn, right? Yeah, phone number is still visible, I know. Emergent, no, not emergent. Okay, I'm gonna show you something really crazy. Then I'll get into tomorrow's time. This is something really nice and interesting that I have done. No, it is Bolt. It is Bolt. You are right that I've made it on Bolt. But how did I do it? I did not go on Bolt. I did not even write anything on the Bolt. All right. There's something I want to show you called Comet. All right. This is something really interesting. Okay. So this is Comet. All right. This is by Perplexity. It's an agent. You could say I use it like an agent. So I did nothing. I gave it my LinkedIn ID. I told that, just go and make up a portfolio of mine. So it actually went, it made and shared the link also. I'll show you the steps. So it went on my LinkedIn first, all right? It went on my LinkedIn. It got all the details that it had, about my work, everything that I have done, my experience, my education, everything. Then it went on Bolt. Guys, I've done nothing over here, right? It went on Bolt. It actually went on Bolt on its own. It found out, I had already logged in. So it found out, it went to this typing space. It created an entire prompt. You can see here, it created an entire prompt and it has shared it. And once it shared it, the end result that was there was this that you've already seen. So this is the prompt it created on its own. All right. I did not give anything. I just gave, this is my LinkedIn ID and this is my Bolt. I just want you to go and create a portfolio for me. It actually went, created an entire prompt, removed all the information about me and sent it over it. And this was the end result. Now tell me in the chat, do you think this was crazy? Let me know in the chat box if this was crazy. Without writing even a prompt on Bolt, I made my portfolio. Obviously, this is a very basic use case. If you see the time, if I can show you the time, I did this while the session was going on. That is the reason that I did a very simple use case over here. Because if I would have done something, I would have not spent a lot of time. I started this when we were on Emerging. So a very simple part I did. Is it free? Guys, Comet is something that is on invitation basis only as of now. There are very few people who have that invitation till now. It's not open. You can't just go and download it as well. It's on invitation basis. And yes, I have Perplexity Pro that I use as well. All right. Next thing that I want to show you. All right. Now, this is something really interesting. I told you I also come from management. I understand business problems. So we were working with WhatsApp groups as well. So we saw there were some redirection issues that were happening. So I thought, you know what? Let's create a simple prototype. Obviously, I took it and I embedded it on a very different end. I took this and I connected with N10 as a backend, build an entire system, but just wanted to show you a front end of what I've done. All right. This is a kind of, you could say, a switchy link. You can use it to use it in different like redirection to different accounts. All right. I'll just copy this. So I know a few people are already of these WhatsApp groups. I've used the same link. So if you paste this, for the first time, you'll see what the link would come. All right. You can see that I'm generative engineering mastering C18 2930 August 25th. This is the name that it came. Remember the name, guys. C18. Now, if I paste the same link again without doing anything, it's C18.1. How? Simple, all right? So what I've done is I've created a system where I can give two WhatsApp groups, and if I do not mention the weightage, it is equal distribution. Now I'll show you something amazing. If I put 60 here, you see that red line that is coming? Percentage must add up to 100%. Now if I, for example, put 39, see, it is still coming because it knows it's not 100%. Let's do one thing. Let's make 100 to just this. All right. And here I can do 0. I can update my link. Link is updated. Now you saw before, okay, before I pasted the link twice, it came two different groups. Now I'm going to do the same thing again. I'll paste it for the first time. All right, pasting it. It created C18. Now if I paste it again, ideally like before it should have been C18.1. But because I gave 100% weightage to this, it will create C18 only again. There you go. How is this? I'll also show you about the kind of prompt that I've written. This is someone only a techie can write. I'm going to show you that as well. This is something only a techie can write, by the way, folks. Let me just load this. Sorry, my system is a little slow. It's showing authentication required because I have login. So basically, you need to have login credentials of mine. I have an admin credential that I've created. Okay, now see this. This is an entire product overview. By the way, guys, just for your reference also. By the way, please, guys, do not spam. Yeah. I did not write this prompt. Yes, obviously, I understand it. I have made edits to it as well, but I did not write this prompt. This prompt was also written by an AI. I just gave it an idea. And you can see how extensive it is. Core features. What user workspace is going to be like. The analytical dashboard, there's actually dashboards. If you see over here, there is dashboards. You can see the number of clicks that is there to the link if I refresh it as well. What the export data can be. I can actually export that data in CSV and JSON file. What pixels to be used. Backend specification technology stack. I've used Node.js and TypeScript over here. So you can see how extensive this is. Have you seen such an extensive, you could say, prompts before? Or have you written such extensive prompts before? Yeah, it still goes. It's not over yet. This is still going on. The prompt is not over, folks. See. And my God, yeah, this is where the prompt ends. This is where the prompt ends. This is the elaborative prompts, which again, once you, again, if you're a techie, you understand these concepts. When you're building these systems, you understand how they work. So you can explain it in a much better way and get it done. Is Lovable free? Lovable actually gives you a few free tokens as well. I think so. They have limited now to 5. You could use. You give only 5 once, but after certain use, its maximum is 30 in a given. It's not 5 per day anymore. It's changed. They have changed it. I think so. Maximum you get is 30 in a month or something. Even though you get 5 per day, after that it becomes maximum is 30 in an entire month that you get for the free version. I think so. Lovable has changed their use cases over there as well. All right. So this is something that now I want to show you something totally incredible that you guys have actually even saw it. All right. I'm going to show you what someone, I'm not going to name, yes, you guys had named them before as well, had built. And yes, the charge was around 999 that they were charging for these kinds of models, and it made millions. By the way, it made millions, over 3 million in just 3 days. I'm going to show you that I have built it as well. Okay, give me 1 second. Yes, here is my model. Okay, I'm going to explain it to you. All right, I'm going to explain it to you what it all does. So first, you can go, it's basically new chat. It's an entire GPT looking kind of model, right? But over here, you can add multiple API keys. I hope you guys now understand what API keys are. Let me know chat box, you guys understand what API keys are? Yes, yes. All right. Okay. If you know, oh, okay. We'll get into that. I'll get into API keys again then if you're not understanding API keys yet. So I have added, I'm not going to show you. These are like passwords. You should never share these API keys with anyone. Basically, this will help me to use the models that I want to. For example, if I would have taken OpenAI and used their API key, this would have allowed me to go and use their models by using that key. All right, in simplest way that I would have said. So I have used something called as Open Router. All right. We'll get into Open Router later, but first let's add some models. All right. Let's say GPT-5, GPT-4. Okay, guys, tell me a few models that if you want me to add over here. Let's say Claude 3.5 Sonnet. Okay, someone said Llama. Okay, let's say Llama. Together, I have not added Llama. Okay. What else? Gemini Pro 1.5. All right, I've added these models for now. Okay, these are the models. I'm going to stop the, okay. No, I'm not adding Jerry. So simple question. Okay, this is one of the easiest questions that I would ask. I'm going to show you something really exciting in this. Okay, it will show you a lot of different things. Let's just take capital of India. Right. Simple, easy thing. Okay, so one feature that I'm still going to add, that is going to be like you're going to have 3 dots over here when it is thinking. Okay, now see something really interesting. All of them have answered, but you can see the number of tokens that each model has taken. You can see Llama has taken 10 tokens and what it has charged me for those 10 tokens. Claude 5 took 90 tokens to answer, where it has also spoken about replacing Calcutta and something. Gemini took 9. GPT-4 took 9. And GPT-5 took 3. New Delhi. That's the answer. That's it. That's it. Now tell me how crazy is this in the chat box. How was this, folks? This is something that I have made. By the way, I did not even take paid version of Lovable for this. I tried to make this on free version. It took me 2 to 3 days because I was using only 5 per day. But in less than 3 days, I was able to build this without spending a single penny. Obviously, a little for the API keys that was required. But again, I did not spend anything to build this. Now I'm going to show you something even more. In the same thing, I can even send a voice. Like I don't want to type, like you have in GPT. So for that, I've used Hugging Face API key. Okay, let's just take, hey, what is the capital of France? So I've just said it, it's processing audio and see, hey, what is the capital of France? Exactly the same thing. Now I'm going to just send it. I don't know what the kind of answers that we're going to get, how many tokens it's going to use. Okay, something interesting might also happen. I'm not sure yet. So while it answers, see, that's the thing I answered. The three dots were missing, so I'm not sure when it's answering or not. Okay, guys, this is interesting. Claude 3.5 Sonnet answered both the questions. I asked first and then I asked the second question. It took both and it answered both. It even answered for the India capital and also for the France one. And it used 26 tokens of mine without me even asking it for the second time. GPT-5, again, Paris, that's it. Your question, capital of France, Paris, that's it, done. It used the least number of tokens over here. You can see how these models are also working. Even Gemini answered for both. Why? I did not ask you to, right? So this is something that is killing right now, all right? This is something that I have built, and yes, it was for free. Now tell me, how was this? And yes, I built it on Lovable, folks. This is larger in terms of prompt. It is a very big thing that I have done. Yes, AI Fiesta. Okay, so talking about Open Router. All right, what Open Router actually is? It's a platform which, where it provides API keys where you can access 400. You can see here 498 models. If I want, I can actually include this 498 models in my model as well. I can just take the docs. If you see over here, there's something called as docs. You go to their docs, you give it to an application like this as well, and it can fetch all the models that are there. You can see the 498 different kind of models that they have. You search anything that you want and they have that. See, Grok 4, they have GPT, you put here, they have GPT 5. Claude, you put, they have Anthropic Claude Sonnet 4, Sonnet 3, Claude 3.7, Sonnet. You can add all of these models, and that is what Open Router can also do. Obviously, there are other things, but yes, it has 498 different models. Isn't that so good? No, you have to obviously pay when you're taking their API keys. They do not provide API keys for free. They will not provide 498 models for free, so you have to pay for their API keys. All right. That being said, guys, first of all, I want to say kudos. I want to say kudos to all of you folks that you have stayed till the end of the day one. You have now taken your first step towards the AI native engineering that I spoke about in the start. How much does it cost for the API? It depends. You can take an API for $10 as well. And for each model that you use, API key is different. The costing is different. Like I showed you on my model itself. If you see here, the number of tokens that it used, based on that, it was the pricing, what it charged me. All right. So if you want to understand what next steps you should take, all right, to become towards that AI native engineer that we're talking about, I want to share something really exciting for you. All right. I want to share something for you. Just give me 1 second. I want to share my screen already shared. There's something interesting I want to show you. All right, here it comes. Okay, guys, please do not spam the chat. I'm going to close the chat again. Okay. Yes, thank you so much, Ashish. No recordings are provided, was already mentioned yesterday. People asking about what the sessions are. Yes, about that. And I'll talk to you about the further steps about AI native engineering. And I'll explain you again for people who were not there in the start of the session, what AI native engineering actually means. Post this, guys, we'll have a Q&A session. Definitely, Ishan will also be there. So I'm going to just take 10 more minutes of your time. Then we'll do Q&A and then we can leave before 11. Why we take these timings? As you can see, why I took 11, even if we finish up at 10:45. Like, why did we do that? That is because a lot of times this Q&A or when we are teaching, we are not seeing, oh, the time went a little ahead. We are putting in so much energy and efforts over here, so just to teach you folks. So we expect that let's take a little more time just in case we finish early. Great. If not, I want you guys also to support us that we are putting in so much efforts just for you folks. All right. So today what we've done is introduction to LLMs, OpenAI's, NLPs, and prompt engineering. Tomorrow we're going to do introduction of agentic AI workflows, crew AI frameworks, and AI-led coding. The last session is going to be about MCPs. Someone asked me about MCPs. Yes, we'll touch base on MCPs and multi-agent AI workflows and agentic orchestrations. So, quick recap of everything that we've learned so far, guys. Now I want you to do recap with me. Quick recap. All right. In the start, we understood about how AI is transforming the way we work. I spoke about this in the start. All right. So the big shift in engineering that is happening, the world of engineering is getting rewritten. The engineering roles are developing, are upgrading, and the lines between these roles are also thinning. They are getting blurred. Why? Because of generative AI. So these 2 days are your sprint zero. You've done the step one of it. There are two more steps that we're going to do tomorrow as well. All right. This is the way AI native engineers work. They handle a bunch of AI agents that work together, that communicate with each other, and do the work that would have taken maybe what 3 to 4 people would have taken. All right. Great. So we learned how generative AI models work. You remember the example of cat? I think so. Ishan gave you in the start. Do you remember how generative AI models work? Yes. Yes, I'll close the chat in a few minutes. I just want to ask you a few questions. Okay, a lot of us are already answering what you're going to get. Yes, we got to do prompt engineering as well to write better prompts, to get better outputs with something called as magic prompt, right? We spoke about magic prompt. So these are kind of magic prompts that you can give role, task, instructions, what data. You can also, give it notes, what different kinds of systems you want. So this is what a magic prompt, or you can also say is markdown prompting. All right. Next, we got into RAGs. We got into retrieval augmented generation. Do you guys remember what RAGs are? I hope you guys remember. We did it only a couple of hours ago. I think a couple of minutes ago. You guys remember? Yes. Awesome. Awesome. Great. So moving ahead, this is something that we have done personally for you folks, what you should do moving ahead as well. You can see there are a lot of tools that are mentioned over here. If you want, you can take a photo, but there is more. I want you guys to go on, definitely see in for coding, go to Cursor, go to Claude as well. You can start working on it. Go to OpenAI standard, talk about chat completion, DevOps, CI/CD pipeline creation, security and vulnerability assessments. All of these things are possible with these tools as well. Get into LangChain, LangGraph, LangFlow. All of these systems are also going to be helping you in building agents, but there is a step-to-step process to it. I'll tell you the step-to-step process. Do not worry, because if you jump processes, you'll end up not understanding anything and then you'll drop off. That's not something that we want. All right. Our mission is to help you learn, grow, and outskill yourself. All right. So we learned that it's not just tools, but AI workflows that you need to focus on. How these systems work is something that you need to learn. So what are we learning over these 2 days is setting up for a journey to become an AI native engineer by helping you get exposed to what you can do with generative AI. This is what we are doing in these 2 days. All right, great. So to become a rock star AI native engineer, you need to go deeper into beginner and intermediate stages to build solutions with AI. Do you want me to talk about what else you need to learn? Let me know in the chat box. Do you want to know what else you should learn so that you can become the generative AI, the AI native engineer, an engineer who can use generative AI first in today's time? Absolutely, yes. All right, awesome. I'm going to stop the chat. I'm going to stop the chat. I'm going to move ahead. So, sprint one. This is the first thing that you need to get into. Master advanced prompting techniques. You've seen one or two. If I tell you, I know about different 9 prompting techniques is what I know about. Obviously, there are more, but I use generally 9 is what my go-to prompting techniques. You need to understand how these advanced prompting techniques work, what system prompts actually are, especially for techies. These are really important. And then you get into chat completion, OpenAI standard. You're getting into Grok, Gemini, and code generation. All right. This is sprint one. If you want to give you a little more idea, right? You can use systems like you can talk about introduction to Hugging Face platforms where you are, okay, by the way, Hugging Face is also an open source platform. If you want, you can go and check out. That's the API key I used for my voice to be voice to written. Then you can build this application as well. This sprint one should be able to help you build this application, the AI Fiesta kind of thing that you said. Sprint one itself can help you build that. Can you imagine? Just sprint one. I have not even gone to the other sprint set. And this is the kind of use cases we are talking about. All right. One second. Sorry. Yeah. So now getting into sprint two, build powerful workflows, automations for tasks. Maybe, like job search, resume creation using N10 and connect them with dynamic front ends as well. And by the way, guys, you can connect N10 to your Lovable and Bolt. Did you guys know that? That you can connect N10 to your Lovable and Bolt as well? Okay, some of you did, some of you didn't. So the application I showed you about the switchy part Actually, I have also built on N10. That's on a different desktop that I've made. I've used N10 as a backend, and I've used a lot of dashboards over there about clicks and everything that has been made. That is N10 as a backend, and I've used Livable as a front end over there. Please, guys, do not spam the chat. It's a request. Please do not spam the chat, even if it's in host and co-host. All right, this is sprint 2, where you'll be getting it. You have to, learn in terms of such applications. You can also get talk about make.com. You can talk about Zapier, agent tips, so on and so forth. That will help you in terms of automation. Sprint 3. Sprint 3 is about RAGs, implementing RAGs. You understand about RAGs, you already told me. But tailor for AI responses from your personal data. Build a second brain. Okay, I'm not going to get into it, but second brain for automated information management. This is something that is super important that you will have to learn. Build an end-to-end RAG application. Let's say using Llama Index. Learn about Google API to access your YouTube. Okay, sorry, I was getting a call. Build your own such extra features and an auto assessment creator if you want. So this is something that's really interesting as well. I would say that you should do if you're getting into Sprint 3. Yeah, this is not written. I'm just sharing about the information that even I have. All right. Sprint 4. This is about, this is where you start in terms of multimodal AI capabilities as well. You need to understand, because AI is not just text-based anymore. We have audio, we have video. We can make AI see images, understand audio and video, learn about pipelines for solving complex problems which are not just text. And obviously, when you're talking about generative AI, cost comes in. You know, ask me about cost and all those things. It is very important for you to understand in terms of what it is costing, because when you're working, especially for your product folks, DevOps people, when you're building, budget is very important for you. So you need to understand what costings are there, what security is there, something that's very, very important for you. Sprint 5. Sprint 5, you can get into, maybe I would say, a little in MCP, and you can start with agentic. You can start with agentic AI. How AI can become an agent and make decisions and take actions. What autonomous agents are. This is where you can get use of LangChain. You can use LangSmith. You can use Crew AI frameworks. We'll understand what autonomous agents are also tomorrow. Don't worry, we'll understand what autonomous agents are and how they can take decisions and take actions. How you should be able to build your own MCP as well. Sprint 6. Just let me move this tab. So sorry. Okay, Sprint 7 has also come up. No worries, I'll explain both. Sprint 6 is about multi-agents. When you're having like 4 or 5 different agents that can work together to do a single or maybe a task that would have taken maybe a team of 4 or 5. Let's take a simple example. All right. For example, for content creation, right? There is someone who is writing, there's someone who is doing research. So there are different things. Like there are a team of 4 to 5 that is required to do an entire post. What if you can have 4 to 5 agents that can do it? One person handling 4 5 agents and they can do it. That is what I'm talking about. That's where you can maybe get into, again, you can use Crew frameworks, you can use LangGraph, you can use Haystack, etc. And lastly, so you've gone through all of this, you need to build. Building is super important, and well, we engineers, we techies love to build. That is one thing that we all love, and I'm sure of it. That is something that we all have in common. All right. So I have told you almost everything that I had for you to, that you can do and take ahead for your journey as well. Was this helpful, guys? Was this helpful? I'm just going to keep it on host co-host for no spamming. Was this helpful? All right. Awesome. So, like I told you, you have to have a very deep understanding of these AI models. You have to have a stronghold on AI workflows to solve these problems. The problems that I'm talking about are real world problems. And these AI tools and workflows are way more powerful than what you can even imagine. What I've showed you, trust me, is just tip of the iceberg. This is not all. This is just tip of the iceberg. The things that we folks work on a daily basis is something that is going to blow your mind. And a few of these things we're going to show you tomorrow as well. So you should need to go very deep in these tools, in these workflows as well. And again, remember, these are means, but how you can think also is important. AI first thinking is important. So AI is also AI is evolving rapidly. You remember when, like, how many years ago do you guys think when we were introduced to ChatGPT? Then something else came out. Then something else came out. Then GPT-4 came out. Then GPT-5. We had Grok. We had Gemini. So much has happened in these last few years. And Ishan also spoke to you about agents. In a few years, how much percentage we went from like 1.98 to what 76 point some percentages as well. So they are developing super duper fast, and you need to be updated with it. You need to keep up. So to stand out as a true AI native engineer, is knowledge of AI enough? Do you think so that only AI is enough? Only knowledge of AI is enough? Only if you had AI knowledge, you could have done it? No, no, no. I can see a lot of you folks answering no. Okay, I see. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to just keep it on host and co-host only. Okay, so what more is required? Apart from this, see, this is what I feel personally. This is coming from me because I have had this experience. Like I told you, I have also come from a management perspective. I have also strong business understandings. That's why when I have business problem statements, I know how to work on it because I have understanding of business and I have understanding of tech. That is something that I think so is also important in today's time, especially for AI native engineers. So understanding of business is there in a lot of folks. Understanding of AI, some folks, not a lot, but yeah, there are a few folks who have. But this thin line that is there, this part, who understand both, these are AI native engineers, and these are people who are gonna be extraordinary people, and these are gonna be people who wanna be doing great things, building products, and by the way, starting their own businesses as well, just like the product running. Yeah. So you need to have a strong business understanding coming, with design thinking, problem solving, consulting. Guys, it is the best period to be in consulting. I'm going to tell you, freelancing and consulting, this is the best period to be in because there are so many companies who don't understand how to use generative AI. They need help. They need consultants. They need freelancers over there as well. This is the best time I feel to be a freelancer or a consultant as well. So not just I would say MBA graduates highly go through it, but there are a lot of folks or tech folks who go for management roles as well. Some do MBA, some don't do MBA and directly get into management as well. Depends on your personal journey. So, like I said, this is the golden era for consultants and freelancers. You'll be paid, and by the way, paid like boom. You'll get like crazy amount of money. I was also gonna say. All right. So my strong recommendations to all of you is learn business skills as well. Along with AI. See, AI is important, yes, but business skills are also important. You need to have time management. You need to understand where you're putting in what you're understanding, and how you're putting it to use. So one more piece is missing. Do you guys want to know what's the last piece, or you want me to end? You want to know what one more piece is missing? Actually, I said it. I basically said it, but I don't think so a lot of you guys know about. Prompt engineering? No, it's not prompt engineering, folks. Sadly, no. Okay. Someone I know who knows about it. Yes, it is monetization. It's the art of making money. You need to know how to make money with AI. So it's small enough. When I said about money, they remembered. Nice. So you should also learn these skills, generating these kinds of sales. Again, this is from perspective if you're starting also consulting, you're starting your businesses. When you want to reach out to these people as well, that is when this will also be super important for you. So if you want to get into it, I would say it is really, really important. So learn all of these skills will take some time, depending on your focus, but you already got started. So firstly, guys, I want each and every one of you to type kudos in the chat to yourself, right? Just like kudos, because you've taken that step, you are spending time with us and you are learning. So write kudos in the self and pat your backs because you have started. You have taken that step towards growing yourself in generative AI as well. Awesome. Kudos. Awesome. So the faster you learn all of these, the higher are your chances of grabbing opportunities. By the way, guys, if you go and search about generative AI and all of these engineers on LinkedIn, all of those platforms as well, there are tremendous kind of openings. You have openings in Uber, Google, Bosch, all of these big companies have these openings because they also want engineers and techies and managers like us who can handle multiple things and not just one thing. So now, guys, there are two parts that you can take from here, all right? I'm going to be frank with you guys. I'm going to be point blank. There are two parts that you can take from you. One of them is I've shared everything with you that I knew about, and you can take it home. You can use it. And oh, by the way, guys, bonuses left. But yeah, so you can use it however you would like to. You can grow as well. But if you want us to help, we can help you as well. See, you can take it, you can go on YouTube. There are so many videos you can learn, but there's only one problem that I have seen. I have seen so many people try and fail. I'm not saying that you would fail as well. There are a few people who have passed as well, but so many people have failed because they were not able to understand what is the proper structure or the proper procedure they should follow. That is why they failed. They did maybe 1, 2 sprints, 3 sprints, but they were not able to go ahead. Again, because there was a gap. There was no mentorship, there was no help, there was no one platform where they could get everything. Because, well, even I would say there's a lot of hallucination in the world of generative AI is out there. There's some lot of wrong information that is out there, which I should say you need to avoid. So if you want us to teach you, I have something special that we've developed. I know a few of you guys might be thinking, oh, I know about this. Trust me. You don't. You don't. Trust me. So I'm going to show you something, okay? So you're spending these 2 days with us. You're not even spent 2 days with us yet. You've only spent around 3 hours with us, okay? I can see all of you guys are saying, let's go, okay? Awesome. You spent 3 hours with us till now. Only that's it. We have more 6, 7 hours tomorrow coming in. So, and only in 3 hours, you learned so much. So imagine what you can do in over 60, 70 hours. Isn't that something that's crazy? Am I right? So we have launched a special program. Obviously, guys, no, I am not going to be asking for anything right now. I just want to introduce you. We're going to talk about this program tomorrow, but I just want to give you a heads up. I just want to introduce you about what this program is about. This AI Engineer Specific Accelerator Program. This is specifically for techies. Now, I know a lot of things people are thinking that, oh, I'm a tech manager, I'm a tech director. Why do I need this? Because you are the people who are going to be leading these AI native engineers and AI engineers. How can you lead a team when you don't know about these things yourself? Would you like that your someone who reports to you would pull one over you because you were not aware about what actually happens in this generative AI? Would anyone like it? Tell me. Would any manager or director who's on the call would like that anyone who reports to them would pull one over them because they were not aware about how this AI works? Okay, Piyush, I would really recommend please do not spam the chat. All right, I'm gonna share it. So it's a fast-paced, high-impact program that we've had. I can see a lot of you think, no, we do not like, we don't want managing directors saying. So it's a fast-paced, high-impact program designed for you specifically to become AI native engineers. So we spoke about 3 things that you need to get into. I spoke about these 3 things: deep understanding of AI, business acumen, and making money. These are 3 things that is going to help you. All right. So this program is going to consist of a lot of things. Part 1. 70 hours of live training. Over these 14 days, 70 hours of live training and building products because, well, like I said, we techies love to build. So we're going to be building and learning in 14 days. A lot of these things every day. I'll get into it, guys. Relax. Please do not spam the chat. I'll get into it. Next thing, AI content library. Guys, so you have seen little about Perplexity. You have seen a little about GPT, seen about Claude. But how to use these platforms properly is something that is required as an AI content library, which, by the way, keeps evolving, keeps growing as AI evolves. We also keep updating them because, well, that is something that we do on a daily basis. 3, yes, guys, we've partnered with a business school called Kairos Business School. We partner them and we are providing modern MBA content over there. Library, you can go through it based how fast you want to go. These are the part 3 is recorded. You can go through it whenever you want. Part 1 is full live, folks, just for your reference. Part 4, monetization. We're going to give you a content library of how to make money, with AI. Lastly, post this, you think so journey is ended? No, 52 plus live sessions for the next 1 year on regular AI updates. What new things are happening in the world of generative AI is something that we'll keep telling you for the next 1 year. So AI is going fast, I told you. I've also explained to you how it is going fast. You know yourself how fast it's growing. So you have to constantly keep yourself updated. So irrespective of anything, you need to grow yourself, irrespective of anything and anyone's else. All right. So staying updated with AI is something that gets really difficult because you may follow a lot of pages, but things change very quickly. It's very difficult to keep track with all of those things. That's where these 52 sessions that I'm talking about comes into place. So the dates of these sessions are we're starting in the mid of September as well. Guys, I'm just going to give you an idea. The deep idea about the program is going to be talk about tomorrow as well. So you just wait for a few minutes. So it's 12th September, we're going to be starting, where the sessions that happen is on every Friday, Monday to Friday. For the 2 weeks, both weeks, Monday to Friday, we'll do from 7:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. IST, same converted to EST as well. And Saturday, Sunday, power packed Okay, yeah. And Saturday, Sunday is power pack where we get around 7 to 8 hours from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Indian Standard Times. And yes, recordings of those sessions will be provided, of this are not provided. Just letting you know. So, who is this program not for? Anyone whose job is the physical environment they are working, no, this is not for you. Like a factory or a role that doesn't involve computer or digital tools, no, this is not for you. Secondly, yes, a little bit of coding, understanding, and knowledge is required to be a part of this program. So, this is not for everyone. This is not for everyone. This is only for folks who understand coding as well and already have a few years of experience over there. So, want to know the fees, folks? Want to know the fees, what the program is? But before I tell you the fees, just want to tell you one thing, that this is something that is actually what it would have been priced. It would have sold all of these things individually, because we've done that. We've sold all these things individually as well. But combined thing is going to be different. I'm not going to tell you what the combined thing is. That's a surprise for which you have to come tomorrow. I'm just going to tell you what it is actually worth and what the actual MRP is. What we are going to offer you it for, no, you have to come tomorrow to know about it as well. Okay. So all the things that are part of it, the 70 hours live session training, the AI content library, the modern MBA, which is required about business acumen. Again, I've already explained you why that's important. Making money, well, who doesn't want to make money as well? And 50 to 54 plus different kinds of sessions that will be there. So the actual MRP of this program, if you combine all of them, comes to around 5,99,999. But this is not what I mean. We have a special offer for you, only for folks who are on the call. And trust me, that offer is gonna blow your mind. You would not even imagine the price that we're gonna offer it for you for. So if you're interested, by the way, guys, if you want, you still have to come for the sessions tomorrow. We have a lot to learn, irrespective of this. That learning is super important that you have to come for. So don't miss out on that learning part that we start at 10 a.m. So if you're interested, we're gonna launch around 20 minutes. We'll have a special price only for 20 minutes during the lunch. We'll talk a little few moments about it, and we'll talk about a special price. So Ishan is only gonna come and talk to you about that, and he has a session tomorrow. He's gonna come and teach you tomorrow in the first part as well. Second session, we have the product head as well, and person who works a lot in generative AI at Outskill. His name is King Siddharth, who's gonna be there as well. So if you want to grab this offer, if you want to understand what the price is going to be, again, we're going to reveal it tomorrow. It's not going to be revealed today. That's a bonus for tomorrow. We're going to reveal a very special price for you. I told you the price, but it's going to be a huge price reveal that we're going to do tomorrow. If you're interested, you can get a booking amount for 14,999.